Behave yourselves, you are now live.
Butter aim's getting
I'm
better.
going to say so many swear words, yeah.
Time
I'm
talking about my
hold
political
on.
views.
Swear.
Has anyone
I
written
forgot to
another
turn
balls
my-
on the splash? 'Cause
No,
if
we
not, I'm
haven't.
doing it.
What about what?
Every
So,
session,
hold
another
on.
balls gets added to the title screen.
Could I ask again, if it's alright? What precisely does did the tablets that were on the ground in the very first sessions do?
Give glow?
Oh, the
Yeah.
gift leather things? Yeah.
Yeah. They had
Okay,
like a
well-
mechanism in them though, didn't they, to have mana from the surrounding area or something?
They were tapped into the local ley line, I believe, is the explanation.
How much mana does a ley line have?
Yes. Any magic
Does-
you use comes from a ley line.
Do we know if the amulet's power increases with the amount of mana that it's given?
It was drawing directly from Alisan, so therefore it must be proportional to Alisan's power.
So if we found some way to get it to tap into a ley line,
It would probably charge
Yeah.
faster.
Technically it is tapping to a ley line, but only by proxy. That's just how mana regeneration works for like an individual person.
I see.
You're basically restoring your own magic from the ley lines.
But there's...
If you were cut off from the ley lines, you would not regenerate spell slots.
So basically a person is like a bottleneck as well. Like how powerful they are with magic is...
Drawing
how...
directly from a ley line, I think I even said this in the original, in the other session.
so,
I'll reiterate
yeah.
it now. Drawing directly from a ley line is unheard of. It is
I
considered
see.
wildly impractical and uncontrollable because the quantity of magic involved. If you had to breach a ley line to actually like draw power out of it, it's like punching a hole in like a water main. You're not going to control that no matter how hard you try. It's just going to
It's
blow up in
time
your
to
face.
install a shit
So-
ton of magical capacitors.
So I've got a new goal.
Yeah.
I just need to make sure. Give glow is 2 charges, right? Or 3? Because on mine it says it's 2 out of 3, but I think it's 2.
They have a reread of the ability. Just be in a hot second. You use this feature any number of times equal to your proficiency modifier every long rest. So your proficiency went up to +3, so it is now 3.
Yippee!
Because you hit level 5, your proficiency modifier increases, and I set that up to work automatically. I'm going to go over this again just so stream can see it. We have all the locations, which list all the major NPCs that the party is aware of. The party itself has a tracker with an inventory. And there is an extra one specifically for non-permanent members of the party.
Is there also so right now is the inventory essentially the ship's inventory?
It's kind of like the vague inventory among the party. Is someone is
Just
holding
the-
onto
yeah.
these.
Yeah, they're items that nobody has like a specific claim to. We just kind of vibe
Yeah,
with.
because I
Oh.
because I nabbed them off of the now retired PCs. So you can if you want to claim them, I think you just literally drag them onto your character sheet, and they will be pulled off.
Yo,
I
already
and
it's
then I
have
can
like
two
remember.
extra
Minecraft.
suits of leather armor. I don't need.
So this is the communism.
I
bot,
mean, this
then.
is a +2
Where is
set,
this?
so
Where is this?
if you
Well,
want to open up on your
remember-
own, it is on the actors' PCs, the core party. Then you click the inventory, and you get a list of the items in there.
Oh, I love this. This is so cool.
It's a bit buggy at times. If you click on the Star of Feeling, open its description, then click it again, it will open the description again. It's a new feature. It's a little buggy.
But it's also super heckin' cool. I love it.
I'm mainly using it to keep track of all the NPCs you're aware of in what locations. And I'll probably dot even more of the map as more locations become known about. Additionally, there are some new characters that you were made aware of that I had to go over, specifically the Knights and Danes. If you open up the cities around Valar, you will notice they're all actually marked down in which city they're in, because Geralt knows where all the knights are, as they do.
Oh yeah.
You will find out in character about all these, but I'm just drawing notice to them that you are in character at least aware of their existence. You can ask Sir Geralt more about them, and they will tell you what they know once the session begins. I have a good idea of where you'll be going next, however, considering specifically the lords and ladies of each location, and what was discussed last session.
Wow, you've got an idea of where we'll be going next. Have you written out some information on the location that we are going to be going into?
I have written down information on 3 different locations, because you have a choice. But I have a pretty good idea of which one you're going to.
Considering
So,
it's a riverboat.
with that,
and
let's do the recap so we can begin. I mean, Velaria is basically off limits unless you want to get yourself killed. So,
Yep.
last time on the trans agenda, the party, having made contact with the Lord of Taliskar through Sir Geralt, you had managed to get Princess Alicent, formerly known as Nalia, reintroduced back into the political sphere and managed to get caught up to speed on the current situation. From there, the party had rested for the night, preparing to head out the next day to head to the Republic, I believe, to go try and rescue one Ralmor Valar, the I forget what the official title is. I think it's King Consort. Yeah, that's it. King Consort is his official title.
You were calling him Prince last time.
That was because I was mistaken. This does not work. The United Kingdom, it would be Prince, because you do not become king unless you are actually king, which overrules Queen.
Well,
This uses the Regent and Consort rule, which is used by some of the other nations. Which
Well,
is, you
wait,
can be
no,
a King
but-
Regent, or a King Consort, or a Queen Regent, or a Queen Consort, depending on which of the roles you feel.
isn't that the case here as well though? Like isn't like we've got a queen consort now.
You've got a... No, you had... The nation... Valar had a Queen Regent and a King Consort.
Oh no, I mean Britain.
Oh, Britain, it had a Queen Regent, and it now has a King Regent.
And also a queen consort?
And a Queen Consort, which would be their wife.
Yeah.
The Regent is the one with power, the Consort is their spouse.
Yeah.
That is generally how it works. There are technically 5 types, we're not going to worry about it. Feudal politics.
That's
I did
true,
some
my
I did
character
some
does not
research.
care.
It bugged me last week that I had to call them Prince, and I was like, there's probably a proper title for them, and yes, it's King Consort. So that's their official title. They're currently stuck in the Republic, and it was put to you to try and rescue them, and you rested for night, planned to leave next day. Things did not go to plan.
Yeah, and then the Fire Nation attacked.
There is no war in Ba Sing Se, as some time travel shenanigans ensued with the amulet. If you want the actual events of last session, the stream exists. I've already highlighted it. For a brief rundown, everyone died, except like a couple people and the party, and you had tried to flee Taliskar and got basically stopped any tracks when the Emperor just kind of walked in front of you. Another individual who seemed to be their equal, a spellcaster of some kind, was also pelting the party with like suppression fire lightning bolts as you tried to flee through the forest. And a pair of assassins and, of course, Sir Vincent seem to be behind this attack alongside the Emperor and this unknown spellcaster.
Oh, that's a point. So Vincent, is he on the boat?
Nope. He wasn't at the manor the entire day.
Oh yeah, that's true. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. No. If that man showed his face, like, a single fucking instant
Stab.
before we got on that... Yeah, Vincent would be fucking dead. Like, the moment he walked in the door, he would have gotten an Eldritch Blast. to the
I don't
face.
know. I think we should keep him around for a bit and then throw him in the water. If that
With
did
his
happen,
arms
rather.
bound and his armor.
Yeah. No, we keep the armor and
But
we
yes.
just put all the armor that we don't want on him.
The party managed to delay just long enough for the amulet to finish charging, and when it activated, the party suddenly, in a blink of an eye and a flash of light, they suddenly found themselves back in the meeting about 3 hours prior, at the conclusion of the discussion of what to do next. From there, the party and the other members who had survived and also now remembered quickly packed up
Quickly
shop
stood
and
up, said,
booked it.
"It's time to leave."
And booked it, leading to the current arrangement of the excessive amount of people in the extended party. I will also say Annika has also joined the permanent residence of the party, in terms of perma characters. However, as you can see by their stats, they have 8 hit points, so don't get them into fights, please.
Annika?
They are Annika, which is the witch's daughter.
Oh, no.
Uh,
They are squishy.
There's
Yeah.
something I forgot to ask last time.
Yes.
You mentioned that we leveled up. How do I do that?
Open your character sheet.
Alright, have it up.
Top right, click the 3 dots, press import.
Import.
Go
Alright.
to, go to classes and subclasses on the left side.
Okay.
Click open importer on the bottom right. Scroll down, find your class and subclass. I think you're samurai, yeah?
Yes.
Click
Fighter samurai.
Click samurai, click import, and then you want to specifically check mark level 5.
And that's all?
And then click OK, and then it will run you through the process of doing it. If you have any choices, it will give them to you. If you don't, it will just finish.
I'll just...
You want to roll hit
Okay.
points. If you get below average,
Right.
you take average. That's manual, so
Did I...
you
Oh.
rolled max, so you keep it. Congrats, you now have 66 hit points.
Also,
But, motherfucker.
one thing that I've recently noticed, which is interesting, I just want to make sure this is correct. I can attack twice per turn?
Yes.
Now?
If you got extra attack, you attack twice. Same thing for you, Mango.
Understood.
Don't worry, at high levels, Mango gets to attack 3 and then 4 times the turn, not including action.
I'm a fighter. I'm a fighter. What do you expect?
Fighter.
Fighter mode.
Right, right.
Knuckles in Bard lock. Just you wait until I get the triple shot for my Eldritch Blast.
I think it's level 11 to get triple. But you got double shot Eldritch Blast now as well. Most cantrips
I
just
do?
got upgraded. Yeah, most cantrips get upgraded at level 5.
Well, I'm not a level 5.
It's
Warlock.
it's your total level, not your warlock level.
Really?
Yep, cantrip scale
That
off
seems
total
a little
level.
broken.
Cantrips scale off total level. It's to keep you on the
Ah.
damage curve if you're multi-classing. As a spellcaster.
Oh.
Because otherwise Firebolt is Firebolt and like Shocking Grasp are literally the worst things in the game because they won't scale once you hit 5th and then 11th level.
So, does it automatically give me the
Yes.
the
It's
shots?
I believe well, you would just have to attack roll normally. Twice.
Okay.
You just attack roll twice. Yeah. Because you'll note it just says when you hit 5th level and not when you reach 5th level of Warlock or of your main class. It would distinguish otherwise. You would
Oh, I
just click
see.
like the attack button twice and then the damage button twice. You wouldn't put it in chat twice because that's like unnecessary.
Oh. I didn't see
Yeah.
that it
Well-
had the option to do it again.
Welcome to a new age of spellcasters, because third level magic,
Yeah.
and also extra attack for all the marshals.
Yeah.
Yippee! I have
Me, I
problems.
just don't get hit as much.
Yeah, you've got...
That's pretty
I
good.
I
Is
have
it evasion
I have
or
my
uncanny dodge? Uncanny dodge, so you can just halve damage as a reaction.
I think evasion's like much
Evasion
later
is
level.
7th, I think.
Yeah, yeah, because that's just
Backflip a fireball.
fuck AOVs.
Yeah,
fuck,
it's
fuck
specifically
AOEs in particular.
specifically dex saves. It's only dex
Yep.
saves. If it's Thunder Wave and a con save, you're fucked.
Yippee!
Anyway, that's the recap done. As the party has left Taliskar via boat. I changed the music. Well, I'm just gonna switch to ambience actually. Out.
And I'm going to be ready to turn it down because it's almost invariably going to be too loud.
Turn your global volume controls down. Then you don't have to mess with individual things.
Well, that's boring.
Then high,
Like,
easier too.
I'd rather be more inconvenienced.
Fair, I guess.
Sounds like a you problem.
I will cause problems on purpose.
It does sound like a you problem, then. It's correct.
It is indeed a me problem.
A me problem? What, like the Nintendo Mii's?
Yes.
Anyway.
Start.
At this point, it's been about an hour or two since you've fled from Taliskar. There is no sign of pursuit and no sign of adversary ahead. It's getting late in the day once again. The sun is low in the sky, about to set. Once the night falls, you will not be able to continue sailing, as you will just simply run aground because you cannot see where you're going.
Hold on.
What if any
Do
of
I
us
have funny light though?
It is not enough to project. You don't have a spotlight to see
Actually-
like the next bank, basically.
That is correct. I do not.
You have a 30-foot lamp, and that is not enough to see by.
Can I just continuously fire Eldritch Blast and use the illumination?
It is no.
Fireball!
They produce barely enough light, and that will set fireball. Only you can prevent forest fires.
Listen, then it won't be dark anymore.
I'm just gonna shoot the water. It'll get us some fish.
Yeah.
I mean, if you shoot the fireball straight
However-
forwards,
It is at this point that enough time has passed that your nerves have begun to settle, and you've finally come around to, okay, maybe we can talk about what to do next.
that happened.
It did.
What happened?
Ah,
So,
long
you-
story.
Ultak
Just
had
about
gotten
everybody
separated
died.
during the fire, basically, is how I'm going to explain it, so they were not present for the time travel.
So, long story short, Goltak. Just about everybody died. The Emperor was standing right in front of us. And then, snap. We were back at the meeting.
What drugs did you consume?
None.
None
Yeah,
drugs.
They're speaking the truth.
Magic.
Yeah.
Mm.
Speak truth.
Yeah, the princess's fancy necklace is a artifact that has apparently the ability to turn back time a little bit.
I see.
Only 4 times, and we've used one now.
So 3
Let's
times.
try not to rely on it.
Also, it's not perfect. I know for a fact the Emperor remembers everything as well. In that brief moment when everything turned white for you, I was able to see a few figures around me who were also immune to the shift, so to speak. The Emperor was among them, so was that wizard. And I sense there's more beyond what I could see, further away.
so we've basically just painted even more of a target upon our backs as well.
They know our faces now. At least they don't have our names.
I mean, it's better than us being dead.
Aye.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm glad that fate didn't come to be. I would prefer being alive.
So would most of us. Yeah.
Alive.
So where are we headed?
Mm,
Well, our plans changed.
Not much was for certain.
Whistle fumbles. Through
Are
the
they
bag,
changed? Are we
and-
going to continue with what we planned prior, or is this changing matters? We don't know how they found us.
Whistle fumbles through her bag and pulls out her map and lays it out on the ground of the ship. Everyone looking over it.
I just imagine it's like the car mat.
I
R.I.P.
Oh,
the man who made it. May he rest in peace. The
Yeah.
fucking legend.
Yeah.
well, given how this reset seems to work, it would likely be more prudent that we stay together.
Understood.
If something is to happen, well, one of the groups are off doing something, and the reset's used. If they've split up to come after the two of us, if they have the way to know that we've split up, then
It's
that's a yeah,
sorry.
it's a complete wipe for half of our little rebellion here.
So what I'm hearing is no one strays from the herd, so to speak.
Don't split the party, I see.
Yeah. That's another word for it.
Yeah.
A term for it. So, okay, out of character. What exactly happened to the witch lady?
She is currently with the party.
Oh,
She is
okay,
on the
cool.
ship. She is actually, as I'll bring that
Whoa.
up now, she has spent the last hour or two seemingly casting some ritual on herself. And is actually going to disguise herself in humanoid form. I'll quickly reveal what she is like in that form.
Yo, if she's hot, I'll actually bark verbally.
There you go.
It's hot.
Oh my god.
Uh,
Oh no.
Man,
Actually,
well,
swap her
fulfill your
out.
promise.
Oh no, she's hot. No, I'm not actually going to. I'm not
Liar.
I'm gonna lie. Yeah, I'm gonna do a little thing called lying.
Quitter talk.
Yeah, I'm a pussy. What of it?
We know. I'm sorry.
What, you expecting me to get mad at that?
I'm sorry.
You're not lying to the people. You're not lying to the people. I can't be mad about
Right.
that.
Let's continue. This conversation's going someplace.
Don't worry, we know we're streaming.
Wait, we're streaming?
There's two people here streaming.
I'm going to pick you up and put you down again.
So I'm simping. I don't know if Ghoul Talk would be simping though. So that will be determined at a later. I don't know. That will be determined at a later date. We'll see how. We'll see if they live more than 2 sessions.
I regret everything and nothing simultaneously.
Don't bring that energy into this. They'll live, right? They'll live.
Listen,
That's what
listen.
we thought last time.
They have to. For me to start to get emotionally invested, they have to withstand a certain threshold, or else I don't trust. I'm just I
You're a
as a
red shirt
DM
and
and
you're
as a
proven
player I
otherwise.
have as a DM I know
A good
how
way
it
to
is
look
for
at the
myself.
two. The reason I separated the NPCs into core party and traveling buddies. The core party have plot protection. Traveling buddies don't.
Oh,
Can we
no.
indoctrinate them into the core party?
I don't
Anyway.
like the
Technically.
silence.
I'm still under contract, so regardless, I'm still gonna have to be in conversations with the witch, so I'm not planning on pissing her off.
Good.
Like any of us are.
Hello.
You'd also notice that
considered.
Sophronus has brought the vial of Abyssal Blight with them.
Oh. Oh no.
Obviously, they have not conducted their research because they were waiting on you for that callback.
Oh yeah, I have to go do that. I gotta go be a nerd and actually do something productive for the party.
Nerd.
Well, Sir Geralt,
I
I am going to plop the sack in front of me and open it up. Would you happen to be able to teach me how to use this well?
wearing armor is inconvenience for most people, so I can teach you the basics.
Right, because last time it was
This
barely
particular
passable.
set might be a bit, he narrows his eyes. Might draw the wrong kind of attention, but
Good to practice with for the time being, at least.
hey,
And just look.
so, by the way, Sir Geralt only wears half plate as a note. They don't even wear full plate.
Well, he's kind of the best chance we've got right now, because I don't think the Lord is currently wearing a full suit of heavy armor.
Nope, they don't. They're not armor trained. I don't believe. They're in padded armor.
I'm sorry, you're telling me a dwarf isn't armor trained?
They are axe trained, but they are still a noble.
You're telling me a dwarf of any standing is not armor trained?
Damn.
Well, they don't have armor on them at this moment. Probably a better answer.
There we go.
Whatever the case. At this point, I'm assuming, at this point, as the night is beginning to fall, preparations are being made by those manning the ship to actually bring it ashore and moor it off for the night. Set up camp on the shoreline.
I mean,
We should be in the
Before-
clear.
if we're bringing it into more, you don't really need to get off the ship, and it would be, a more defensible position than camping out in the open.
There.
Unless there are some kind of hippies that want to be around trees or something. Ugh.
I don't think we have a wood elf in the party.
Not anymore. Used to look to-
Whistle just kind of looks perplexed looking at the map as the sun begins to fade, kind of obscuring most of the view, but she's still kind of like thinking.
Yes, it's like helping hold the map down against the wind while you're looking at it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna kneel down next to Whistle and kind of look over to them. Do you think Vort might be able to help us in any capacity? I'm sure I can pull some strings, get some favors. Could definitely help us get more information easier.
She would nod and tap over, if I remember correctly, it was here. Right,
Sure.
Cynthia?
That's very funny.
Like this area right here. Wherever our contact was.
Here.
Yeah, it's
Grimsy.
sure.
Ishara.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That one.
She would tap up there.
That'd be a long sail though.
Long route. Would
That would
have
also
to
require-
go through. She would bring her finger down. Krill. Not friendly.
Yeah.
She taps Arendelle and Kriya. Independent. Politic. She points over to the others who were at the meeting.
I'm gonna reiterate this real quick
Not my
because
thing.
it's been brought up offhandedly, but it's actually set into stone now in terms of an actual explanation. The Kingdom of Valar is basically an alliance of city-states. Every city is self-governed and mostly self-sufficient, with its own distinct area of control. Like Ernadel controls the Keep Woods, Velaria controls the entire Bay region, Korea controls Arid Cliff, and Krelox controls Darkvik Pass. And Telescar controls the mountains and the mines, as well as the river.
And this hole over here controls this island that's no longer there.
Oops.
Oh, the island's there. The village just isn't.
TK.
Yes.
Would Kryle know that if any of these two, like Irandel or Kriya, have any connections or branches to the mercenary company that?
We have to figure out which one yours is, because I actually have a list here of them now.
Oh.
You're almost certainly not the Crimson Chain, so I'll give that one for free, and probably not the Crescent Ways. So you got the Silver Riders and you got the Adventurers Guild. Pick which one you and Sir Geralt have room. But these are the four
What is a
big...
cavalry band? I'm not choosing that one.
You want haunts? You want a haunts?
Then you're
That's
probably
the
part of the
Adventurers Guild,
Adventurers
then.
Guild, which is... makes sense. You'd probably be a silver rank, considering your level.
Man, no haunts. This is so sad.
But yeah.
Okay, so
And going off of that, the Adventurers Guild is everywhere! There was the branch in Telescar was part of the guardhouse, as you'll remember. That's where the contracts were set up, was in the guardhouse. Basically, the Adventurers Guild had their regional position there.
it's fun.
But every settlement generally has a branch of the Adventurers Guild in it somewhere.
Okay.
Okay. TK.
Yes.
Whistle is kind of like doing the trying to estimate the distances. The distances on the map are accurate, right, for travel time?
Yes. Yep. A hex is 1 day's travel.
And the hexes that I
Not
draw
including
here,
difficult terrain.
Yeah, the hexes I draw here, those don't go through Valar, right?
You could bypass
Or
Valar.
yeah. Okay. Just keeping that in mind.
But you could just... What surrounds Valaria is mostly just farmland, so it's just a network of just crisscrossing back roads. You have a few main tradeways heading out north and west. So yeah, you can just navigate the back roads around Valaria and you shouldn't have any trouble.
Okay.
Little 3-day
Jesus.
boat ride.
At this point, a few minutes have passed after you've moored off, and provisions are being laid out, some bedrolls are being laid out on the deck of the ship, some tarpaulins laying out just to protect you from just like the general breeze and like spray from the river below.
Oh, I should ask. Is
I
this
will
ship
say
armed?
it is no, it is a merchant ship. I will mention it is still more or less than like I think it's actually the near end of winter. Let me check the season calendar real quick. Yeah, you're currently at the tail end of winter, so it is still very cold at night. So keep that in mind.
Understood.
And you do not have a fire tonight because you are on board the ship. So it's just going to be very cold.
There are probably plenty of textiles in the hull. We can just use for a shit ton of blankets.
Yeah.
We all getting fucking cozy.
Yo, let's go. Pillow fort.
Yeah.
Or blanket pile.
I take up slightly less space.
How much percent less?
Hold on.
I love this cut in music as soon as I said that. Just made it really
Don't worry
awkward.
about it.
Whistle
I've got a
looks
bad feeling
over,
about this.
kind of like looking through her bag to grab a piece of paper, kind of sets it down, and does she have anything to write with at the moment? Trying to
You could
remember.
fetch writing equipment.
Okay, she would go and fetch writing equipment and begin jotting down some notes.
Two liters more compact. Yay.
What's that mean?
Anyway. At this point, as the night begins to wear on, settling down to like your first watches and such, it's before anyone really gets to that far into sleep, for Gultak and Whistle. As you're both like settling down, you suddenly hear like what sounds to anyone else would sound like just a regular bird cry sound over the forest. But for the two of you, you immediately recognize like the subtle pattern in the call. Listening for it again, you hear it again a few seconds later. You hear a signal in Thieves' Camp.
What did it say?
Okay.
The signal vaguely means allies approaching.
Oh. I'm gonna go over
Okay.
to the side of the boat where the signal's coming from to see who it is.
As you poke your head over the side of the ship and squint in that direction,
Friend.
you would see a figure currently with their back against a tree. A figure with their back against a tree with like a compass in their right hand, currently glancing up towards your ship.
No, they're cute.
Damn it!
And they give like a quick wave as you poke your head
Why
over the
are
side
they
of the
all
ship.
hot?
I curate my
Hi,
tokens.
I can tell.
Whistle clambers down from the ship and sets foot on solid ground, approaching them.
See them like flick the compass close and stow it on their belt. You see just behind them in the forest a little further, you can see what appears to be like a draft horse with like a large set of like satchels on its back. If you were just to randomly guess, you'd say that this is a traveling merchant from their current like setup. I take it you're Miss Whistle. Judging
Miss
from your
Whistle.
look.
She nods.
Well, I'm Haiku. Pleasure to meet you.
Of course, we'll still summon
Pleasure
the
to
furry
meet you.
twink.
Haiku.
I was sent by our mutual acquaintance, Mr. Vort. He's given me a message to hand off to you. Rummaging, you see him like step over the horse, rummaging around a pack, and then procures a small like letter. Walks over to you, hands it over.
She would take it. Thank you. Looking through it. She would tuck the letter into a pocket and kind of give a short bow after having read over it.
Yeah.
Thank Vort.
Thank him yourself when you meet him next. Anyway, I'm gonna
It's
be
gonna
off.
be
I got
lawyer.
business to attend to. As they move right back to the horse. Although, if you want to buy
Take care of
anything,
your business.
if you want to buy anything, I do have wares of my own, although it'll cost you a fair coin.
Buy anything. What have?
That depends. More of a random thing, you see. There's a smile. Never know what you're gonna get until you pay.
She will fumble into her bag.
To explain
This is
this,
the worst loot, man.
Haiku.
Is this what kind of a loot box?
Haiku.
Loot box.
Alright, to explain Haiku, because they are going to be a reoccurring NPC down the line.
I
They
see.
they run what they are a member of what is known as the Wandering Caravan. They also work for Fort. They specifically what the Wandering Caravan provides is a single roll per encounter on a magic item table. Costs determining which table you roll on. If you spend 50 gold, you roll once on magic table A. If you spend 100, magic table B. That is what is available to you right now. You do not know what you're going to get until you have paid and rolled. They are
Okay.
the magic item gotcha.
So wait, okay.
But made by TK, so I doubt they're going to be like fucking bullshit gotchas.
Well, it's the basic item tables from the DMG, so they scale rarity depending on which table you roll.
yep. So they're not going to
Okay.
be bullshit.
I have 15 gold. Oh.
So.
You only get one single
Okay.
pull.
Yeah.
One roll. Okay. So I have. Whistle will,
Body
signal
inventory
Gul'Thak to
has
come down.
78 gold. Keep in mind.
Yep. Whistle
free to use that.
signals Gul'Thak to come down and look.
They will.
And she'll explain kind of like, pay. We get something in return, but pay first. Must pay good amount. And then she will jingle her gold out, which is 44 in total.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of reach out a hand, kind of asking for more.
How much do we need?
More than
50 is the
44.
first, 100 is the second tier. Those are the only ones I'm offering right now. It's the only ones I have
So
on me.
44. So you need 6.
Ooh. Okay.
You need dial back.
Perhaps you should consult the rest of them.
I have 15 gold
Whistle
to work with
would-
here. I'm sorry.
Whistle would throw her pouch of gold to Gul'Thak real quick and just like, wait here, and she would clamber up the.
I love
clamber
that.
back up the ship.
I just imagine Gul'Thak sitting there like the kid who's like waiting for their parent to come back at the checkout line.
For the rest of you, it's like
Emotional damage.
the rest of
Just
you kind
kinda
of
like-
like bemusedly been watching from a distance, trying to figure out what the fuck's happening over there. As Whistle scrambles back
Yeah.
aboard.
Yeah, Whistle just clambers back aboard.
Well,
Wandering trader,
yeah.
give gold for good item. Give
Okay,
gold
how much you need?
first. Have enough for first tier of magic item. But
Okay.
they take 100 for better thing.
Well, if we're going to be up against, well, the insurmountable odds we already are, we might as well be well equipped for it.
She nods, looks over to the others.
I'm willing to put my money where my mouth is. towards this 100.
How much?
Well, as much as necessary if the others don't want to help cover it.
How much have?
Let me see. Currently hitting at a nice 69.
Ooh.
Reminder, there is about 70 in the party fund. In the
Yep.
core party sheet.
Yeah, we can just pull from that.
We could also use the unallocated pool that we've all sort of just been jingling around with our various suits of stolen armor.
We could spend this money on like probably so much decent stuff for like
Or
for
one
the
magic
price.
item.
We can.
Or
We
one
can-
magic item that none of us
Hey,
might not even be
listen.
able to use.
We might
Hey.
be able to use it. There's enough diversity
Yeah,
in the
okay.
party for one of us to
Yeah.
use it.
Even if we
No.
can't use it, we can sell it for good money.
Whistle
enough.
is going to okay, hold on. That's just one.
Fair enough.
Doing a little bit of okay. How much did you have, Soul?
I have 15 gold.
15.
Oh.
Okay.
I'm poor,
Uh,
leave me alone.
She's
No,
gonna run
you
through
just have
the
a skill
party
issue.
with the little a piece of paper, kind of jotting down real quick. Everyone, please put your gold amount down, or like say it, so I can keep track.
69.
Carl will tell you, but they're not giving any of their money for it.
Fucked up. Okay.
No
You're gonna give
Gampa.
it to some random
got
guy in a
a-
forest.
35 gold.
Yeah, you don't know them
Yay.
like we do though.
Yeah.
They know thieves
And I
can.
trust
They can be
Whistle
trusted.
Yeah. Hey, they brought a
Yeah.
letter from my friend.
own
They brought a letter from
They
my
own it.
friend.
Okay.
They
I
help
trust
me.
Whistle enough.
Aqua,
Why don't you trust me? Damn.
how much gold do you
Well,
have?
you haven't clambered back up the ladder yet.
Yeah,
What
but
do you
how much
mean?
gold?
Yeah, you're not the one asking.
Hold on. Yeah, everyone. How much gold, Aqua, do you have?
35.
35. Okay. And Sarah, you said how much? 60?
69.
Nice. 8 and how much was the other? 15. My amount. 4. Okay. So. Sorry, doing quick maths.
You only get one pull, one at 50, either at 50 or 100. You can't do both.
Yep. I am aware. I'm just doing quick maths for distribution purposes. Okay.
Hell, you could just eat the unallocated amount and then use your personal funding to fund the rest. To get it to 100. That'd probably
know
be the
what,
simplest way to do it.
There.
Yeah, I'm
Though
fine with just.
I really don't like just draining the entire unallocated gold, because we could use that
It's
for like.
There to be spent.
Okay.
Well, I guess take like 30 of the unallocated. I'll cover 30. You cover 30.
Okay.
That gets us to 90.
Okay. 40.
then-
and then
Change the
10 from
allocated
gold
to
tax.
48.
I can put 10 in, yeah.
Okay, 10 in from gold tax, so take 10 off.
So that's 100.
I am almost broke.
Okay, so you're down to 48 in the party fund. Done.
Perhaps you should be better at being a thief.
Okay, who took? Okay, so
You took
it's
30 and Sarah
I
took
can't
30.
change my luck. I'm sorry.
30 from the party, 30
Yep.
from Sarah, which
And
is
30 from you.
60, and then 30 from me.
90, and then 10
Which is 90.
from Gultak, which is 100.
Okay.
Alright,
Okay.
you get one roll on
maps
magic
and
on
let's roll.
table B. I need
Yippee!
you to roll me a D100.
Okay. She Whistle would then jump down with the gold obtained into the night, down back to the caravan, and grab the
I will-
gold needed and give over to. That was 2D.
You just
On
use the
what?
first one.
Why? Okay. Yippee!
Ah, wonderful. I need to figure out exactly what this is.
God.
Brilliant.
Oh no.
It's one that I
What
can't.
is it?
It's one I have to figure. Oh, D&D Beyond is down, so that's actually going to make this very difficult to do.
Oh no.
Yippee!
Yippee! It's going to be SRD only then.
I am fine with having only 39 gold. As long as this is good and like gets us really good utility.
It's a tier 2 magic. It will whatever it is. It's good.
By default.
How many of these? Can I have you roll me a D85, please?
That's very oddly specific.
That's how many of the choices are
Who's
in
dying?
this for that.
Who's dying?
Oh no.
70, so I need to
70.
count 15 from the bottom.
Who's passing away? I'm scared.
That one.
I wonder what.
That's
Just
amusing.
buy it, and the guy just pulled out a gun. It's like, here you go.
as you hand over the gold, you see like he like weighs it in his hand for a second, like, yeah, that's about right. Sets it onto the back of the horse and stores it in like a small bag. Walks around to one of the other bags, pulls it open, and then this small like bag about maybe like the size of what looks like a coin purse. It's like their whole arm in, just disappearing into this tiny little bag. Rummaging around for a second. Alright, let's find out what is in store for you this time. And then pulls out what appears to be a scroll case. Closing up the bag. Ah. Scroll of Silence. Got right up for you. As they hand it to you.
Thank you.
Add a spell scroll of silence to your inventory.
Oh boy.
That could be very fucking useful.
Silence is a caster shutdown, if used correctly. Knocks out verbal components.
Mm-hmm.
As a note, to use a spell scroll, you must be able to cast spells.
Okay.
I think Gultak
Is
can
a
make use
scroll-
of this.
Is
Yeah.
the scroll one use?
Whistle.
It is a single-use item. Yes.
Whistle will throw. It will like toss the scroll up into Gultak's hands. Just
One of the many,
can't
yes.
use. Don't think. Not magic smart.
Anywho, I'm gonna be off. You all have a good night. I hope the message treated you well. Vault will
Thank
probably be
you.
touched eventually.
You too.
We'll probably meet again. Take care. As they swing up onto the
Meet
back of
again.
the horse and slowly trot back into the forest.
Back onto the boat. Go.
Yep. So
Yep.
hops back onto the boat.
I got my 10 golds worth. So I have to add a scroll of silence, was it?
Yep.
Yes.
Spell scroll of silence.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Scrolls are a little finicky to add, but you'll probably figure it out. Are you going to reveal the letter to the rest of your party members?
Yes.
Alright.
I don't even think Whistle showed it to Gultak yet, but Whistle just kind of like rolls it out and reads it out to the party. You can
I'll
read
pull
it
it
in
up
your
again.
own head if you want.
It totally didn't show up to me earlier.
Yeah,
It was
showed up to
intended.
everyone.
Yeah, it was intended to show up to everyone. I'm just pulling it back up again.
Yeah.
I will draw note to the final line in the brackets.
Yeah, Crow's gonna point that out and be like, they're very quick.
Someone in the Republic, this got to you shockingly quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, they probably have an owl.
Even a bird could not fly across a continent in merely a couple hours.
Vort has his way. Don't
Yep,
worry.
Vort
Vort
clearly has
is
a way.
indeed Vort. Vort. Oh, he used
Vort,
covenant
Vort.
teleportation technology.
I am so glad I am best friends with this man. I hope that's
Hey,
the case.
he sent us a cat twink. He
Well,
is
yeah,
gonna-
okay. Yeah, there's that.
Wait, hold on. What?
he sent his prettiest delivery boy.
He did. He really did. Fucking crazy.
Also, question: have all of you read the Beastkin handout I threw out like yesterday?
I have not,
Yes.
because
Yeah.
we're-
TLDR. Beastkin, like what Heather is and what that individual is.
Yeah.
Basically, characters with the animal features. Shut the fuck up. Die. Beastkin are basically a subspecies of standard humanoids. Any humanoid can be a beastkin. It is a genetic offshoot. You can be a beastkin human, you can be a beastkin elf, a dwarf, a halfling, an Asimar in the party's case. It is simply a genetic offshoot.
Fun.
But they are very much discriminated against. They are, like, even more so than what tieflings are. Like, tieflings are mostly accepted in, like, most of the nations at this point. Beastkin are still... because their origins are dubious and may be related to the gods. It's basically the reason for that. A lot of people view Beastkin with distrust a little bit. Of course,
So I'm.
most people are fairly open-minded and don't care for such things. But when you deal with large amounts of people, there are going to be problem players.
I'm triple discriminated against.
Yeah.
I'm disabled. I'm an Asimar, and I'm a Beastkin. Yeah.
Yeah. You keep the ASMR bit secret, because that can get you killed. by the wrong people.
I mean, to be fair, a lot of things that we've been doing can get me killed.
At least you
By
don't
many
look like
other
a
people.
bug. At least you don't look like a bug. I chose this.
Why is that bugging you?
No.
I'm bringing attention to that because, as has been heavily noted so far, Ernold is quite likely a human supremacist, and it is going to be one of the major factions of working against you, more than likely.
Yep.
Whippy!
I wonder why he's working directly with the Empire.
Anyway. With the letter read, its meaning falling upon all of you, you now have a new course of action you have to come up with. As the night is still young, you have time to plan out your next moves. You may freely call on NPCs if you wish to get their guidance, but they will not intervene in your planning unless you call on them.
Can I go talk to the witch?
Can you
Okay.
go talk to the witch?
Out. I'm gonna have a stroke.
Right. Walking over to Sophronus, they're currently, they've reset up basically a small alchemist workshop in the back corner of the ship.
That's great.
That is the exact look they are giving you.
Concern? Yeah. I mean, yeah. Of course. Just gotta see. So, like, they have, like, they're just... I'm assuming they're examining the
They seem to be just
What-
setting up their
why?
workstation for the time being.
Oh, just setting it up. Okay.
You'll need something.
I was wondering if we could look into the what was it called again?
Abyssal Blight?
Yeah, the Abyssal Blight.
Certainly, I have enough set up here to begin working on it.
Oh god. Sorry.
You
I
are
was-
you are proficient in the basics of alchemy.
Um,
Are you proficient in alchemist tools?
let me see.
I
My stuff is bugging out. 1 second.
I'll check. You are not. You actually have no tool proficiency, so fall back on your Arcana instead.
Oop. Which is
Thankfully,
plus
you have-
4.
Yeah, you have proficiency, so you're at least capable of it.
Yeah.
You know the bare bones of alchemy.
I know my way around a couple test tubes, you know.
Wonderful. I'll put you on managing temperatures and such. That much you should be able to do. I'll handle the actual distilling and such. What I hope to achieve with this, just so you are up to speed, we need to figure out where this blight came from. Blight comes from the blood of gods. We have to figure out which one it belongs to. From there we can determine exactly how much of it might be left.
What are you intending on using this for, though?
It has its uses. But first we need to figure out which of the gods it belongs to. Until we do that, we can't figure out what its uses may be.
Okay. Sounds good.
If it was, say, the blood of the time god, we might be able to derive some time effect from it. If it was the blood of the war god, some kind of enhancement to your physical strength, perhaps.
That could be very helpful.
It was certainly one of the dead gods, however, so... Very few
I
living
still
gods have ever bled. Let alone enough for blight to form.
Do dead gods keep bleeding?
When they die, the blood they spill upon their death turns into abyssal blight.
I hope the Emperor hasn't figured any of this out.
They
I
almost
know.
certainly have. They've used blight in the past, and I'm almost certain they're the one who placed that owlbear in the region.
Well, it was targeted, you think?
Unlikely. Again, we'll find out specifically what the purpose was once we determine which of the gods it came from.
I see.
I'd like for you to make an Arcana check real quick, at advantage, because you are being assisted.
Let's go. Advantage.
And I'm actually going to check my notes to see if I actually even wrote down which of the gods this is, or am I just going to pick a random one from the list.
17! Yeah, it's above a 10! This is above average for me.
Yippee!
17. Wonderful, and it turns out I did not write down which of the fucking gods it was, so I need to figure that out real quick. Stand by. Because I know that I have a list of the ones that were around.
A Boblin the Goblin, it's a DM.
Pull some notes out.
Let's go. I'm really good with a Bunsen burner, apparently. I'm sorry.
Why did you say sorry?
I don't know. I feel like being a nuisance.
You're fine.
Alright. I've narrowed down the list. Can you roll me a d5?
Okay.
We're gonna
1 second.
we're gonna figure out which of the gods it is from my little list here.
What's the command again?
/R.
Okay.
And
Sure.
1d5. 1.
Yeah. That's
After a
more.
few,
That's more.
after a
interesting.
few hours, as they begin distilling, eventually, like the black abyssal, like sludge, basically, slowly gets distilled as they pull like different minerals out of it, slowly distilling it and purifying it until eventually it comes out to a small, like red elixir, like a semi-transparent red liquid. Of note, it is the same shade of red that Annika's eye was. The throne is just like looking at this, frowning. Blood of the Time God. They keep seeming to pop up nowadays.
So, what would that grant us
Pause for a
if
second.
we're able to acquire more of it?
I can do some stuff with what I got here, but that's for me on my own time. You'll only get in the way, unfortunately.
You could have sugarcoated that a little bit, I feel.
I will not.
Okay. I apologize. um. So. What else can you use the blight for? Is there any other purpose, any other uses for it?
Like I said, I have things I can do with this, but that will be for me and me alone. Unfortunately, it's going to be delving into some of the knowledge that I don't like using. But what can you do? At this point, they take the small vial of the liquid and carefully store it away in like multiple layers of protection.
Several layers of blast protective casing.
As I think for a second. I already have a purpose in mind for this. If it is Blood of the Time God, then I can make use of it for what I was already doing. Glances over towards where Annika is. Should be able to help reinforce her gift. Although it will take me time to do it safely. I don't want to accidentally kill her, after all.
No. That would probably be less than ideal.
Hey.
Really?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think like the Western.
Okay, so is there anything else you need from me before I settle down for the night?
Do you know anything about this? And can I? Did I actually wait? Did I already ask them about my arcane focus? Or do you remember or not?
Maybe? I believe
Yeah.
they gave you a... I believe you did, and they gave you a... I'd have to look at it in my own time kind of answer.
I'm gonna give them this, my arcane focus. Could you look into this at some point?
I'm gonna actually have to check my notes regarding that, because I don't remember off the top of my head if I'm able to recognize anything about it. I need to remind myself everything about it. We'll talk.
I don't.
There it is. I found my notes for it.
Yeah.
Alright.
What think?
I finished checking what it was. And say take a look over the gem frowning for a second. Interesting. Does it look like the gem set into the end of the focus? Or just the gem is just the focus itself? I can't remember.
It's just like the gem, itself
Yeah.
is the focus.
Not much I can do to help you with this, as they hand it back. Feel like a look of, like, thought on their face.
You know who would be able to?
They're dead. And the other is nowhere to be found. Not to me, anyway.
Hmm.
I can tell you their name, though, if you ever do run into them. Bless your soul if
I
you
would-
do. Edros. If you ever come upon that man, tell them that I sent you, and to look at that gem. They might be able to give you more information. They were closer to the person who made it than me.
I see. Thank you. I'll leave you be now, and probably figure out what we're doing.
Their eyes are still like, they're still kind of eyeing the gem. That look of like, almost like nostalgia and like a little bit of like a sad memory on their face. As if they're remembering someone.
I apologize if I brought up anything bad about your past.
No, not bad, just an old friend. Very old friend. Shake their head slightly. Yeah, I'm gonna be off to bed.
Good night. And I'm gonna
Make their way off
I'm gonna
to
scuttle
one of
away.
the tarpaulins.
I'm scuttling away. Oh, yeah. Just gonna leave. I'm not gonna harass them further. Leave them alone.
Whistle is over her map, kind of sketched out something, and in silent contemplation. Think round route. Path.
As the rest of you gather around the map, you would see the vague path that Whistle was drawn out.
Very polygonal. You have very steady hands to draw such straight lines.
Or a string and pins.
It's string and pins. Easier
Alright.
not to mess up the map permanently.
Now there's a bunch of tiny little holes in it.
Take. Draws finger from here to Arendelle. 5 day. 8 day to there, from there to Kriya. Then another 5 around 5-4. Rough guess. Long trip to Ashara and back. Or would give most time for friend to deal with trouble. It's easiest first, from what heard. Ernadel, easiest. Sway. Don't know what that mean, but I guess that it will work.
It's like a pretty good path to me. From what I can see.
What other things?
Anyone else around?
You can freely ask any NPC on their opinions on any course of action, and you will get their reply.
None of the party has any comments. Whistle will.
No, never mind.
Okay. She will first call over Acilin. Or yeah. That's
Alizen.
how you pronounce it, right?
It's
Alizen?
pronounced
Alizen.
Alizen, right? TK?
Allison? Yeah.
Alizen, yeah.
He is no longer going by Nalia at this point. There is no reason
Yeah.
to. Go over the princess. Takes a look over the map. That lines up with what me and Red Hand initially had planned, and Adele being the most easy probably to get on our side, as Colbert is the most ideals-driven of the bunch. Korea is also neutral, a good place to start, but we'll need to make a good case. They are merchant at heart, so we'll have to make a case that appeals to reason and cost-benefit, rather than ideals. Prelox is just going to be a problem player, more than likely. Swaying them is going to be tricky, but if we can get them on our side, that's 3 of the cities united. But it will probably be difficult. Then we can rescue my father with a clear border. And then we go for Velaria, with everybody in tow. I see no problem with this plan.
Whistle will.
So I
call
take from
over-
this, you don't plan to split us up, as we had initially planned.
Nah, that could get most of us killed.
Understood.
To explain short, friend up north. Keep eye on goings-ons. Emperor can see you when away from us.
Oh, wonderful.
Specific amulet. Focus on that. He see. When around us, can't see.
You are that whatever the hell Fates touched or whatever they were mentioning. Maybe that has something to do with it?
Think so. Don't know though. She will kind of signal over for the other traveling buddies except for Saffronis, just like Geralt, the politically inclined ones.
Ah, okay. So,
basically.
for now, let's Geralt and Inora.
Yep.
Everyone on
and
that
just
list
kind of show them.
they all voice fairly similar opinions. This is about the plan they'd all independently come up with in private a few hours prior.
And
If we're
she'd
not
also
at this
explain.
point, Redhead's gonna speak up. If we're not splitting up because of dangers involved, then we are going to be bringing a hefty party in, and that could be a sign of intimidation. Could actually make them turn against us. Might well be that we leave some of our troop outside and only send in those who are necessary. That'd be a group of you, the princess, and perhaps one or two of the rest of us. And then, of course, Kias and Annika, as they are traveling directly with you. As for myself, Ainora, Alicia, Geralt, and Sophronis, we'll probably have the case by case which one of us joins you. If all of us join you, then things might get out of hand.
Whistle nods.
Understood.
If that's the case, it might be best for the rest of us to stay in a town over from where we end up, and then simply rejoin with you once negotiations are complete.
Yeah, without knowing the full radius of the Emperor's view,
It is
let's
specific.
not stray.
It is specifically on the amulet. I'm going to note that again as it's called out in the letter.
Specifically on what he focuses on, which is the amulet.
They do not focus on the rest of you. That is a concession that has been made. For some reason, they cannot focus directly on a person. They can focus on an object, however. And that appears to be the amulet.
Person including our traveling buddies, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
They cannot
where's the
focus on a
letter
person.
again?
And they
Because I
cannot
think I
focus...
misread it.
Go to your journals tab. It looks like a little notebook in the top right. Handouts, letters. Yeah. What specifically calls out they are looking specifically for the amulet, and that is the only thing you need to keep close at hand. That is the TLDR of that last paragraph. The reason you got caught at Telescar is because you left the amulet alone, not specifically Alicent.
Well, I'm not usually one to shy away from being direct about this kind of thing, so I'd rather be with the group that's going to make negotiations.
Okay, that will be you, the prince. That'll be your troop, the princess. Basically the exclusions are Ainora, myself, Alicia, Geralt, and the Furnace. If you wish to bring one of us along, we could probably pull that off. However, if all of us travel into the city, it's going to draw attention, and not the kind of attention we want. It might turn the local ladies and lords against us. It's seen as a show of force rather than a show of negotiation.
Well, those of us that go to top, stick close to the princess.
Best get rest now. Can plan who come, which one of them come with.
When we get
Once closer.
there. Whistle's right. We should all get some rest. It's been a stressful day.
Right. On first light, we'll get traveling to Ernadel. Once we're a bit closer, we'll split off into the troop specifically going in, which would be you, and the troops staying behind to watch the rear, us. If something happen, we should be able to get in contact.
Hey, don't go dying again. That was offensive.
I'm doing my best not to. And with that, unless the party have anything further to discuss, that will bring the night to a close and travel will begin.
Yippee.
Are the party taking any specific precautions while traveling that need to be made aware of?
Well, trying to keep her best of a low profile.
Yeah.
You know, fly casual, not too casual.
Alright.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Cool. So, as you begin traveling, first 3 days are fairly uneventful as you travel into the Estakeep Wood. After mooring the ship off about halfway down the river and then continuing on foot, you eventually make it onto one of the main tradeways heading through the Estakeep Woods that wind their way through the forest, passing through various smaller villages and the occasional, occasional larger, township and such, as you make your way towards Ernadel. Your surroundings distinctly shift as you approach Ernadel, shifting from the mainly human-centric populations that you saw around Taliskar and Valaria into far more beast folk or beastkin dominant townships and such. Especially as you approach Ernadel itself and into the actual Estakeep Wood proper. Those of you from Valar or aware of its reputation would know that the Estakeep Woods, and by extension Ernadel, are considered a safe haven for beastkin across the entire Rift. After all, the lady herself of Ernadel is a beastkin herself. However, it is also a city that receives no end of issues and problems. There is the thing I... Okay, that'll do. It's not perfect, but it works. Just some idle ambience. So, it's near the tail end of the third day, however, as you're traveling along. It is still snowing, it is still near the end of winter. Snow is not relented just yet. So 1 day, 2 day. It is currently the 26th of Corian. There is merely 4 days left in winter before you hit spring. Things are starting to warm up, the snow is slowly relenting. But there is still a light snow cover on the path, and the days themselves are rather foggy, especially in the woods themselves, where a lot of moisture is built up over time and slowly released into fog. And it is because of this fog bank that, as you come up on a small stream to cross a river, there is a small stone bridge set into it for the tradeway. It's until you're right up on the bridge that you see ahead of you a carriage currently waylaid off the side of the road, a horse pulled up and tied off to a tree looking rather disturbed, a few figures tied up around a bush, and a whole bunch of individuals wearing half masks, bandana-like masks over their faces, and a beastkin individual, a bow in hand, currently crouched down in front of these individuals, seemingly talking in a low but threatening voice towards them. As you make your way up to the pathway here, and see the scene ahead of you.
Okay.
Hey,
Are we
TK.
within-
Yeah?
How close would you say would I be to having proficiency in my plate armor?
I just give it to yourself.
Okay.
You specifically have proficiency in plate armor, no other type of heavy armor.
How do I...
It is that you got the little text box entry at the bottom of it, I believe, for miscellaneous entries.
Where do I put that? Is it my features? Is it my attributes? Where do
I should be able to quickly add it to your inventory. Hold on.
Okay.
It is on the like your armor proficiencies. Yeah, I can actually just check plate armor specifically. There you go. You're now proficient in specifically plate armor.
Nice.
Yeah, so you're approaching the road here. You're not actually like this close to the bridge when you see all this. You're a little ways back, just the map ends there. And you see that there are a couple of these individuals stationed, one guarding the bridge, one guarding the road further ahead. And you can see two of these masked individuals currently trying to get the back of this carriage open, but obviously not making much progress. And again, this individual here interrogating these three individuals tied up around this bush. Floor is yours.
Could we say that I have had sufficient time to don my plate since I've been practicing
It
with
is
it?
a blackguard plate, keep in mind. That will draw basically immediate hostilities from most people.
Nice. Could I have repainted it?
You can file it down, sure.
Listen.
You can no longer use this as a disguise, however.
This is
I
fine.
can.
I don't
if
need
I
to.
can.
Go. You just have a
If
set
I
of plate
can
armor.
safely cast Fireball in this session, I will try and do so. But if it's not safe, I'm not gonna try it because I'm not gonna be the motherfucker who gets Fireball and immediately kills someone with it.
See.
Are you just gonna walk down the bridge?
Yep.
Whistle just
As
takes a
you-
little crouch near the bridge.
You're literally a
Making
Fire
himself.
Emblem GBA armor knight. Just fucking.
I
As you-
am totally not just providing myself as a physical fucking target distraction so that other people can
Yeah.
line up and
As you-
light people the
Uh,
fuck up if necessary.
As you make your way
Crowd's
down
gonna
the
walk in
bridge,
as well then.
and as the two of you walk down the bridge, as wherever you're going, Whistle just assume Kias is next to you. Annika will be actually holding
Mhm,
back
yeah.
because he wins, and same with Alison. They'll be off map.
More prepared to wizard time.
I'm actually now gonna quickly just delete all the walls off the map because fuck them.
Wizard time and.
As the two of you walk down the bridge, the individual at the end of it raises a hand going like a bow at their side. Boss, we got people coming down the road. Here's when the individual glances over. He's gonna like walk over, cursing slightly. He'll glance at each of you. They're going to, for the two of you, they say something along the lines of, where does the hummingbirds meet? Immediately for Gultak and Whistle, thieves can't proc. Friend or foe?
Friend or foe? Shoot.
Whistle would hear that and back up a bit and shout, kind of repeat the just like this.
To be fair, we don't know if we're friends or foes until we've got a little bit more explanation.
Yeah. It's like
Speaking
As you-
depends
as
if
you-
you're friendly or not.
As you call that out, I'm just gonna pause for a second. I'm gonna type this out in Thieves Camp.
So this music reminds me a lot of like the backing track for like
Oh shit! I didn't mean to go that way.
of the like Area Zero, the new Pokemon game.
This is specifically from ReZero.
TK.
Yeah.
What would they? Would it
Uh,
just be the
your
name
ring-
of the person?
Yeah, that'd be Vort's ring. Would be technically what you belong to. A ring basically refers to who's your boss. You suddenly hear them give like a bark laugh, and they immediately like lower their bow. And switching into just standard common at this point, switching out of like code phrases and such. What's Vork got business in Irondale?
That's a question you're not getting me.
Fort has business with us. Help
I
us.
see. It's when they like wave a hand at the archer here and they lower their bow slightly.
I'm waiting. I'm just waiting to get to cast fireball.
Here's a look at you. There, if you're Vort's crew, you mind lending us a hand real quick?
Depends on what you need a hand with.
Thumbs back towards the carriage. Lock on the back of that's acting up. If you wouldn't mind picking it for us. Vort's crew has always been good with locks.
Why do you need it open?
You'll see for yourself once you have it open.
And what do we get?
Carl's gonna
from
walk
this?
up.
The goodness of your hearts?
Carl's gonna
Nothing-
eye the-
nothing comes for free.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
Carl's
give
gonna
you
take a
some
look.
gold, don't worry. Have a look for yourselves, you'll understand. I'm not here robbing these men, don't get it wrong. Quite the backwards, actually.
Carl's gonna like try to take a look at the people that are tied up here, see if you can see any symbols, anything like that.
They are not carrying any insignia, which is odd. Usually someone with a carriage like this would at least be part of some merchant's guild, if not a mercenary band. But they carry no insignia.
Carriage have any
the
insignia
carriage
on
is
it?
unmarked. And is actually like, whereas you normally expect the carriage to have like windows and such, this one is completely barred off. Basically just a big wooden box. With a door on the back.
Okay. So thieves' tools, yes.
Yep.
I use what would sleight of hand?
Yep.
Or
Sleight of hand is basically the same roll, I believe. If you're proficient. Or even expertise
Alright.
in it. $17 is sufficient. DC was 15. As you step up to the lock, these two individuals like step to the side as you step up to it. As you fiddle the lock, there is a click after a few seconds, and fiddling with it, it sticks for a second as you realize, like, oh, I see, like it's frozen over slightly, and you shoulder into it slightly, and the frost cracks, and then with that, you pull the latch free. And within, you would see in the back, currently crouched down, currently tied off to the edge of the carriage, you would see a beastkin.
Oh.
Whistle.
I think
would
it should be very clear what's going on here now. Yes?
instinctively
Slavers.
jump in and
Traffickers, more like.
use her dagger to help cut them out and move them outside.
What is the status effect that is currently applied to them? I don't know what that's.
They're tied up.
That is restrained.
Yeah.
As you pull them out, they are shivering in the cold.
Do these men particularly need to be alive?
I was hoping to figure out where exactly their boss is from, as they walk over. And as I was saying, where's the dealer? I know you work for him. As the three of them, like, glare at her. We're not telling you anything.
Kral's
I
gonna
will
step
put
forward.
the tip of my finger to the side of their head like a finger gun.
Kral's gonna just, like, kind of...
I love that we're like
Pull
we're
their-
coming out to them like a gang of
Yeah.
goons.
Kral's gonna, like, pull their sword out of their sheath for a little bit. Kind of kneel down and just be like, each of you have 10 fingers. It is 10 chances for me to ask. How many chances do you want me to give you? I could
Roll
give you
an
0. I
intimidation
could
check.
give you 10.
Roll
Whatever.
intimidation. At advantage.
I'm proficient in it too.
Yep.
Purpose.
Shut the fuck. You said at advantage?
Yeah, at advantage. As you crouch down looking at these two, you'd see the one on the side here goes very pale. They look younger than the other two. Obviously a lot more green around the ears, so to speak. You see them go like quite pale, glancing back and forth. You get the feeling if you separate this one at this moment, you might be able to get something out of them. The only reason they're holding on is because their presence of their friends.
I'm pulling him to the side.
You just
Like,
grab
pull
him
my
by the
hair
collar and drag them
Yeah.
away. Pulling like over like to this rock so it's out of earshot.
Yeah.
This individual would follow you.
Well, you two, I'm not as magnanimous as my friend. You both have one head. You both get one chance.
We'll come back to that one in a second. So,
You want to take a few steps back
I'm gonna.
for me?
fireball!
Jesus!
Hold on.
That's
Hold
really
on, wait.
expensive. They're tied up. You could just slit their necks, not use a spell slot.
What?
Yeah.
But where's the
It's okay,
fun
we're
in
about to get into
that?
town. It'll be fine.
Kryle's gonna turn to this man and be like,
We need
Most
to
of
set
these-
an example.
most of these jobs are done via contracted, I would assume. So
Please,
let's have a
I
chat,
don't cut
and
off
then
my
you
fingers.
won't lose your
Please,
life.
please, please, please. As they like shy back against the rock.
Then I'm going to look over to the person with the bow, be like, well, if you want to ask your questions, now would be the time.
They take a step forward. The dealer, where is he? As he like thinks for a second. Outside Erndel. He met us in an old rundown tavern that isn't being used anymore. Go ways north out of town.
Do you have a name?
No, he just goes by the dealer. I barely saw his face even. I wasn't the one doing the talking.
Any insignias you might have seen?
I don't use insignias.
Good.
As the other individual stands up.
The
dealer-
How do I erase this? That's the 20-foot radius. Sorry, my bad. I was just seeing what the 20-foot radius would have been if I actually did that. You are not out of that 20-foot radius, by the way.
I am aware. That's because I'm still fighting.
Fireball would nuke everybody here if placed correctly.
Well, it would nuke everyone who is nearby, though. Not like this guy, though.
If
Th-
placed
I,
correctly,
like,
that's-
I need player character that's near those two would get hit. Yes.
Maybe let's not do that, because we don't want to
Yeah,
show
don't-
we're
yeah.
cruel to
Fireball.
the people we just met.
Listen. They're slavers. I don't like that.
Some of these people aren't. we don't want to show that we just
Well,
kill people on
listen.
a whim.
I'm
It's
not
not on a
gonna-
whim. They're fucking slavers.
I'm not good. Listen, I'm gonna wait for everyone to get a safe, OSHA compliant distance away.
As they're like panting. At this point, the figure is like panting slightly as they continue speaking. The job was to get that one as they like nod their head over to the beastskin. That one specifically, the dealer wanted them for something, or their client did, and we were to take them to the capital. Apparently, we were going to meet with someone there who was going to take them off our hands. That's all I know, I swear.
Do you work specifically for this dealer, or are you contracted?
I'm not the leader of our little troop. That nods over to like the older gentleman who was like this one. That's the boss. He's the one who does the dealing with the fixers. He said this is going to be a quick and easy pay job.
Sorry.
And then this individual like standing, scoffs slightly, spitting in the snow. Easy job, at the cost of all your morality and humanity. Perhaps. You still kidnap a child. As they glower at the individual.
Kryle's gonna basically just turn to the one with the bows. I'll leave this one to you. And
Hey.
walk back. Which one was the older gentleman?
Is it wizard time?
It might be soon, yes.
Yes.
God.
It is just looking a bit
Spoken, I just
bewildered.
see dead marker.
Aw.
God.
Okay.
Coup de grace. They are
Wait,
restrained.
sorry. Hold
If
up.
I see that, I'm gonna give that lady a scoff. Kryle did not want that to happen.
As they begin walking back over.
I'm gonna turn to the one that he pointed out was the leader.
The one that I
gonna
currently
crouch.
have my finger to the back of the head of. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
I'm
like
going
glaring
to,
at you, like to the, like they're like glaring you to the side as you've got like the finger to the back of their head, mouth firmly shut.
gonna crouch in front of him and basically just say like, I'll ask the same question I asked the other one. Do you work for anyone, or are you just contractors?
We do our jobs for all sorts. We just happen to be working in this region for the time being. You know how
That
it
didn't
is.
answer my question.
I can see that chain on your shoulder. You're with the guild as well. You'd understand. As they smile.
Are you with the guild?
No, but you understand working from place to place.
I do, but
Whistle
I
at
also
Revolt.
understand getting an answer to my question.
I love this bird. This bird is amazing.
That again, sorry.
I asked you if you work with someone or not. Before someone, I mean.
Yeah, this job we're working with a certain somebody, yes. I think my friend over there has probably told you who.
Well, I would.
You know how
stand
it
back
is.
up.
You do a lot of things when you're shut on coin.
Mhm.
Not this.
You've just not been
Carl,
desperate
did you-
enough, I suppose. They glare at you.
Carl would stand back up and just basically say to the group, "Is they're contractors. They just doing this to survive."
They
Yeah,
kidnapped a
things you can
child.
do.
This one steps up to you. Are you defending that action?
No, but I'm defending their will to survive. They might have not had a choice. Jobs are hard to come by, especially ones that pay enough to pay for food. I've
persuasion
lived
check.
this life. I'm a mercenary for a reason.
Roll a persuasion check. You can talk them down from Bloodlust.
You're gonna have to try and talk
Just-
me down too.
Just normal?
Yeah.
That still doesn't excuse their actions.
I'm of the same
No
idea.
matter how desperate you are, there are some things that you can never do.
Can I take the coin purse off?
No matter how desperate you are, there is nothing that excuses this. As you snatch their coin purses.
Wow.
I'll just roll a d4 for both of them. You snatch their coin
Let's
purses.
go.
Add 6 gold to your inventory attack.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Elta, finally able to steal from somebody when they're tied up.
Yeah, baby!
Listen. They deserve it.
Carl's gonna just walk away, but as they do, it's gonna be like, do what you want, but if you kill them, they will never have a chance to regret their actions. There.
Don't really care, and I'm going to let fly an Eldritch Blast directly into his skull.
I'm gonna.
Bop.
I'm gonna magic missile the other dude.
Bop.
But
Keep the grass.
Whistle probably grabbed something warm from one of the bodies, brought it over to the kid.
Yes, is currently trying to keep them warm as you bring a oversized coat over.
What kind of armor
Shrouded
do
over the
these boys
kid.
wear?
Carl's gonna
Can
lean
I-
against this bridge.
can I cast firebolts on the corpses to just burn them?
It
Hold
is
on. Let's
snowing.
pick their useful items first.
Fire.
It is snowing, so fire will not have much effect, unfortunately.
Aw,
It will just
damn.
extinguish.
Just drag them onto the road where there isn't much snow cover.
It's still snowing.
Yeah, but that's not going to extinguish as quickly.
For the case if their skin is saturated and their clothing is saturated. It ain't gonna catch the
Yeah,
begin
they're
with.
not only is it saturated.
Just
in,
let
like,
me commit war crimes, damn it.
It's not only is it saturated in snow, it's also probably saturated in blood.
And urine.
In urine.
As stoic as these guys seem, they probably have pissed themselves. Alright, do they have anything salvageable on them?
They are wearing basic leather armor. It is shoddy condition, it is not worth any money, and it is not worth wearing.
What about weapons?
Same. They are not lootable characters.
Damn.
These are bandits, technically speaking.
The fact that Whistle looted the first dead one and it was only gold, that's telling.
Yeah.
Yippee!
Yippee!
Murder.
I am going to
Add 3 to the kill count.
Would would any of you have a dagger I could borrow for a moment?
Whistle looks over.
I have 2.
Lifts one of her daggers up.
Don't throw
Thank you.
it. Don't throw it. That sounds dangerous.
She
I am
will
going-
throw it. Like,
All right,
toss
let's
it,
see if I
not
catch
fucking-
this.
Not fucking yeet it like
You
throwing
see,
knife it.
you
but, you know.
you throw it hilt first, so it is of no risk of injuring.
Yep.
And you gingerly catch it out of the air. Diana, what are you doing with a dagger?
I am carving Slaver into his forehead, so all who come
Understood.
upon him will know what he did.
Fucking Christ.
Jesus. Kryle's opinion of this group is very quickly diminishing.
Whistle, after throwing the dagger, realizes the action's being made, and kind of just puts a hand on her forehead, like on her beak, like the base of her beak, and just.
Excessive.
Yes.
She
I
kind of
am
like looks away. And
not
shields
above
the child's
vigilante
eyes.
justice.
Just have them look this way
Yeah.
towards the tree line.
Kias is also like
Look
trying
at the
to jump
flowers. Look at
away.
the pretty flowers. Look at the pretty flowers.
Like
This
moving them
feels...
around the side of the carriage.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
I will
you go.
then wipe the blood off of the blade on their sleeve, and then hand it back to Whistle, clean as a whistle.
At this point, as you're handing it back, the beastfolk individual has walked around the side of the carriage and drops into like a crouch. It's alright, you're safe now. As it's all the good. We're gonna get you back to the capital, alright? Return to the rest of you. You're lot mind joining us? You seem to be traveling the same way.
Sounds
On our
alright to
way.
me.
Name's Tiger, by the
Hello,
way,
everybody.
as they hold out their hand.
Climbing back, and we'll be off.
Whistle.
She would shake the hand.
Nice. Good to know that Vort's crew's reputation for being on the right side of things is hold true.
I'm not part of Void's crew. I just really don't like
This one
slavers.
is. This one is.
Oh, I
Those
know
are-
she is.
They
So am I,
stow the
so
bow
not so
over their
was I.
shoulder.
Me and friend Gultak.
Points over to
Hold
Gultak.
on. Come bounding over.
It's when they, at this point, as they take a step to the side. Alright, the rest of you bring it in. We're taking this carriage back to the capital. Leave the bodies where they lay. Point. The screwball begins to fall back in, moving over the carriage. And with that, travel continues.
Ooh. This is like RimWorld.
Insert funny, like dotted line in Indiana Jones travel theme.
And
I am driving the carriage. We get to use my music. It's not actually though. I don't want to get copyrighted.
2 more days go past.
Choke on my music.
As the next 2 days, the travel is fairly uneventful. You make some idle conversation among your members and some of this crew. You manage to figure out that this small band you've come across is run by this tiger. The others work for her directly. To put it in modern terms, she's basically a Robin Hood-like character, to give you an idea.
Wonderful.
Chaotic good type.
Question: are we keeping
Yes.
track of rationing and food?
I can't give a fuck, neither should you. I don't give a fuck, neither should you.
We can scavenge. We can get berries.
Yeah.
As always,
And
This
use our
is-
rations that we were given as classes.
I don't give a fuck, neither should you. That is my stance on rations. They purely are boring for me.
What if
And it comes
Can
to a
I
point
just-
where they don't matter anymore.
I just thought of something horrible? Just like, all right, I roll a nature check to see if the berries are poisonous. I rolled a
That'd be a
1.
survival check, actually.
Survival check. Oh, that makes sense. Because it's
Yeah,
survival.
it's living on the land. And arriving at Annadel. Where is my stuff? Don't think. No, it's not. Okay, we'll go back to the one I was using earlier. Arriving at the city of Ernadel, as you approach, I don't have a map ready of it yet, so points of interest will not be available until I finish the map. That'll be next week, because I didn't know which of the cities you were traveling to first.
Fair.
Although, I do have some basic details. As you approach Ernadel, it is, as is with the standard with all the cities, it is a walled city. A stone wall surrounds the inner portion of the city, and there are stretches of city beyond said wall. There are in fact layers of walled Ernadel. I think it's a two-layered wall specifically I've written down. It may change when I do the map, so Ernadel is sometimes known as the City of Beasts, although that is technically an insulting name. If you use that in Ernadel itself, you will just get shanked. To put it bluntly.
You get thieved.
You'll get fucking like bashed if you actually use that name in Ernadel, as it is a discriminatory term. But it has that name for a reason. Ernadel is basically the center of civilization for beastkin culture, as they are basically rejected in many parts of the world, especially in some of the more conservative regions. This is seen as like the one safe place for them, is in Ernadel and the Estaquipolis. The city itself is quite large. It is larger than Taliskar. And as you make your way through like the outer walls and making your way into the city proper, it is quite a bustling city. Quite the vibrant one as well. You see like markets here and there. You see various like colorful bits of fabric strewn across like the main roadway overhead. The streets are packed with people going back and forth. Carriages being pulled back and forth down the tradeways. Markets bustling with people, salesmen holding out to passing travelers, yourselves included at times. Offering wares for a coin, of course. And, with Tiger leading the way, she begins to navigate her way through the city proper and informs you about halfway through. Oh yes, I should inform you. We're taking this one back to the Capitol building. Specifically. You'll understand
Alright,
why.
start this thing.
Once we get a bit closer. There is a place for us to stop once we get to the Capitol building. I'll point the way once we get there.
Alrighty.
And as you approach the Capitol building itself, going to like the core part of the city, some of the original structures here. A lot of the place here obviously has a very old history to it. And a very, like, distinct style of structure. Similar to what you encountered in Appwood, actually. In terms of that more, like, Eastern design rather than, like, a Western style medieval look. Give you an idea. Much more like feudal Japan looking.
Of course it looks like this with a bunch of
Yes.
beastkin.
Yes. I do in fact sometimes put my architecture towards things that have a common trope behind them. Yes. As you make your way into the center of town, you would eventually reach the Capitol building, which is a large estate broken up into 3 main wings: a central wing, and then 2 wings branching off either side. Tiger, like, set up next to you, gestures to the wing on the left. Heading over to that one. That's the orphanage. We should be able to drop her off back there. That's where she was taken from what I understand. As you're looking at the wing of this estate, sure enough, like, as you approach, you would see, like, there is a sign that gestures that this is a very large orphanage built off the side of the Capitol building itself. Actually part of the Capitol building. Something strange, like, as a first thought. Is like your first thought.
Very strange when we consider what we just got this girl back from.
Hey. That orphanage is the work of Miss Colbert, back in her younger years. Yes, Esther Keep and Ernadel frequent to less desirables coming in and killing folk. A lot of people end up without parents. A lot more than anywhere else in Vela. Colbert set up the orphanage as a way to get them back on their feet, give them what they needed to push on. Actually makes it the best place for the best and brightest to learn, actually. They get well educated, they're taken care of with a roof over their head. They're basically treated as highborn, half the time, no matter where they come from.
Well, I wish other places had this level of care for these kids.
Hey, Colbert is a kind woman. She believes strongly in protecting her people. She is a woman I well respect. It's a shame that outsiders keep interfering in what she has set up here. Cause events like what you saw when we first met to transpire.
Well, let's just say
No offense, of course.
Let's just say we hope to prevent outside entanglements.
Wonderful. At this point, you have to pull the carriage to stop as you've reached a fence line, and you see, like, to the orphanage, and you see, like, one of the guards station there steps forward as Tiger steps down. I brought back the one that went missing. As they walk around to the back carriage, knocking on the back door to let you all know that you've stopped. It's when, like, one of the guards, like, blinks. And, like, as they, and sure enough, as, like, the back of the car opens up and you all sidle out, the young girl, who you've learned, by the way, their name is Ryoki. I'll put that back on screen.
Yeah.
As they step out, one of the guardsmen immediately steps up to them. Ryoki! As they look them over. Is she alright? Looks a bit pale. Just a cold. She was caught on the road without proper protection for a few days. She'll likely recover just fine. They nod. What happened to her? Traffickers. I'm looking into the matter myself. They, like, look at her over Tiger for a second. And then you see, like, one of them, like, a look of recognition, and then, like, a moment of, oh, I see. And they, like, give a nod and, like, step back. I see, of course. We won't get in your way on that matter. Good to hear.
Man, I love cooperative town guard.
This is what I like to call a chaotic good settlement. Their laws are more like suggestions. When it comes to, like, doing what is right.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
At this point, Tiger turns to the rest of you. At this point, I'm going to take my leave. I'm going to investigate that lead that you got for us.
All right.
If you want to
Feel
join
free
us
to
there,
let us know if you need some backup.
well, if you want to back me up, you can join me there later.
Alrighty
That
then.
up immediately.
Will do.
They know not to call me at this time. Shrug. If it's important, they'll call me back again. Anyway. Word of blanks. Angry face.
I detect a small penis.
This town is weird. Random dance parties and motorbikes.
Yeah, crazy.
Crazy.
What did
At
you
this
say?
point, Tiger and her crew begins to move off, leaving you, Ryuki, and a couple guardsmen.
Hold on. Question: did they take the carriage?
I'm still sitting.
Nope.
on the bitch.
Nope, they just went off on foot.
This is ours
Let's
now.
go! Carriage.
I have
Carriage,
the
okay.
car.
Free haunts.
Okay.
Free
Sweet.
free hunts, free carriage.
Bingo, it's your haunts.
Hippity hoppity, I'll
You
increase your land
manifest before you
speed to 2.
Let's go.
Hey, let's go.
Yeah!
Because you now have a horse-drawn carriage.
I love that we're killing our way into more like property and like assets.
The D&D
Is it
way.
really murder if they're slavers?
I like that person's goggles.
Listen, we didn't have to murder anyone.
It's not murder, they're slavers.
All we
It's
did,
justice.
I will note-
all we did extra to get
Because
this was pick a
I will
lock.
note the goggles. Aqua, with Heather's knowledge, from the way they're dressed and like the goggles on their face, they remind you distinctly of when you were still in your early days of artificing, and a little bit still now. The person in front of you is an engineer of some kind, that's for sure.
Can I
Go
talk to
teach the young bean Aqua.
So, hello?
I just
Aqua has gained an apprentice.
imagine like looming over them, squeeing.
When two artificers meet,
I like your goggles.
and they like blink at you and like, thank you. At this point, as the guards are like fiddling to get the gate open, at this point you see like a sharp flash of movement coming from the wing of the manor, moving at rapid speed, closing through the gate as it swings open. And one of the guards like stumbling back as you see this figure suddenly crash straight through your group and basically rugby tackle Ryoki into a hug.
Oh my god.
What?
I
just
will
imagine, like,
remove
having-
my hand from the hilt of my sword, as this seems to not be a hostile attack.
I will not
So
get
it's
attached to
just
these characters.
kinda-
I will not get attached to these
Ryoki, you're
characters.
okay. You're fine. This other
Rachel
beast
kind
skin.
of just gets sent. She's so fucking small, it just gets fucking
She
sent on
just
her
like
ass.
gathers herself like a Skyrim chicken.
Whistle has now entered orbit. Whistle has passed the max Q, the point of max aerodynamic pressure for the
I will
launch of the
immediately
beast.
note for Criley, you see a set of silver tags on their shoulder. They are a member of the Adventurers Guild.
Do
Oh,
not
the-
call them
the
dog
two
tags,
kids?
that's offensive.
No, the other one.
Wait.
Yeah. The one that just charged through all of us. That adventurer.
Well, Growl's gonna take note of it.
Yippee.
As they're like doing a general look over and like turn to the rest of you. Where was she? What happened to her?
Flavors.
There's like immediately glower goes over her face. We will kill every last one in this city. Please tell me they're dead.
Well,
Was
the
not-
trio that were trying to capture her are very dead.
Good. And they immediately go back to a smile.
If I had a smartphone, I'd show you a picture.
I'm not
What?
taking that as canon. What?
It's not. It's not canon.
At this point, the interview says, Sorry, how rude of me. As they like step back. I'm Kira. Nice to meet all of you. Thank you for rescuing Ryoki. You're a very good friend of mine. As they give like a sharp bow.
Hi.
Kyle's gonna nod and be
Nice
like,
to meet you.
name's Kyle, nice to meet you.
Oh? As
Oh,
they like
right,
look at you for a second. Are those tags I see?
They are.
Don't call them dog tags. Don't call them dog tags. Don't call them dog.
As they smile again. Nice to see another one of the guild out here. Not often we get another silver rank new in town. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. Hope we get along.
Hi. At this point, Ryoki is like steps back up and like kind of shakes Kuro's shoulder and like, is no one's touched the workshop while I was gone, right? Of course not. I didn't let a single soul into that building while you were gone. They like glower for a second. Plenty of people tried. Said something about trying to find clues or something, but I said you weren't in when you disappeared. Wasn't a place to look. Out for a
Workshop?
second.
You have a workshop? You have projects? You have secret projects? You have cool secret projects?
No, it's actually not far from here. Not the orphanage, it's actually in the artisan ward. Not far. Ryoki like
Workshop.
looks at the rest of you. When I got taken, it was on my walk back to the orphanage. I ended up staying late at night and they grabbed me off the street. So, I'd appreciate the company this time.
No, of
do.
course.
At this point, Kuro pushes ahead. Right this way! And starts haphazardly leading you through the streets.
Okay.
So,
Hear me
like,
out.
can we adopt them?
That would be
We
very
have so many.
ill-advised
We
at
have
the
so
moment.
many children. We're not.
Kuro, okay. Distinction.
Would
I
you
want
like
to
to-
adopt her. I
Distinction.
want to
Kuro
adopt
is not a
her.
child. Distinction there. They are actually of age.
No, I think the
Ryoki.
engineer.
But they're at the orphanage.
Ryoki is a
Yeah.
kid, though, yes.
Ryoki though. Yeah, Ryoki.
Also,
Yeah.
please do not adopt another child into the party.
Yeah,
Ryoki has like
that
4
would
hit
be
points,
putting them
please.
in mortal danger.
She has like single-digit hit points. Please, no.
She would be in significant mortal danger constantly.
This is a character specific to Ernadel. They will refuse to call him adventure. No.
Can
that
I
made me
be
laugh so
pen
much.
pals with them?
Sure.
That sounds.
That sounds
normal,
significantly
like a normal
more.
thing
That sounds
someone would do.
significantly less dangerous than, hey,
Yeah, 'cause
kid
don't ever
with
classify
4 hit
him.
points, do you want to go fight God?
I gotta go back
You want
to
to
my
go
stream
fight the
after.
guy who could kill God?
Yeah,
Go back
but
to my
like,
stream after and clip that.
okay,
God.
consider how much work experience it would be for her.
No,
No.
you do not get. No, do not
Okay.
adopt
There's
the
workers'
beam.
laws violations being broken here.
As we are going through the streets, listen, hear me out. She can't help herself.
Damn it.
Kleptomaniac.
Please
Go
don't
for
rob
it.
people in the Robin Hood town. Please, for the love of fuck.
I'm sorry, but it is her flaw. I can't not.
Roll
think
sleight of
stealing
hand.
them.
They're a kleptomaniac.
I hope
Literal
you don't
kleptomaniac.
roll a 1. Because
Ah,
otherwise this is
that
gonna
would
get beat up in an
suck.
alley somewhere.
Hold on. Before you tell me the answer, never mind.
Yo, yeah, that was a 19. Just by itself.
Add 8 gold.
And a 29 after
Literally.
proficiencies.
So
Whistle is
yeah,
broken.
as per usual,
Expertise.
Whistle kind of trails a little bit behind the party,
Oh,
quote unquote, watching their back and getting to know the alleys.
Oh,
Comes
Meanwhile,
back, looking a little bit heavier than normal.
8 gold.
Did she eat the gold?
Boy, gold is not light.
Not looking like. Yeah, it's like she looks like she's carrying a little bit more.
A little bit more weight and getting a bit.
Thankfully, Tiger is no longer with you, because otherwise you would have just gotten a boot to the backside.
Just chubby bird.
Yeah. Eventually, it's not too far of a walk. It's maybe like about 5 to 6 minute walk through the streets. You eventually come into the Artisan Ward, and right there at the edge there is a small little workshop. That's obviously like a detached storehouse that's obviously been renovated. Hero comes up to the front entrance, pulling a key out and unlocking it. Ryuki stepping up behind them. And as they push it open, entering into the dimly lit room, all of you would find yourself in what can only be described as an artificer's workshop. There are tools haphazardly strewn around of various disciplines. There are half-completed knickknacks here and there and everywhere. And quite a few things that you don't even like, what even is this?
I approve of the kid. Do I know what it is?
As you're looking at a few things, you're trying to figure out a few things, and like, Iko's immediately in like a back, running to near the back to one of the workbenches and is pulling like a few boxes out to check for certain things. Make sure certain things aren't missing. Kuro is kind of like idly stood by their side, making sure none of you like get too close.
This is cool. I like this.
Whistle kind of just keeps to herself.
At this point, Kuro, like, as you say that, Kuro, like, looks over to you. Right? Yuki says it's nothing of note, but this is the best thing in the entire city, in my opinion.
Honestly, same.
Speak lot fancy.
At this point, as they pull one of the boxes out and pulling it open, you see them pull out a small, like, what appears to be more or less a, it looks like a cut-down crossbow. Almost. Like, it looks like a frame of a crossbow, but the wings from the front, the actual, like, arch at the front has been pulled off, and in its place, a small tube has been, like, bolted down onto the top of the frame of the crossbow. Oh. A small red crystal at the back.
Oh my god.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good, it's not
Explain.
missing.
Gun.
So, what is this?
The
No, I just
child
want
has
to
a
like.
gun.
I want to
am
just
proud.
sidle up to them slightly and
As
just
Kuro,
sort of like.
Kuro very proudly puffs her chest out and begins explaining. This is Ryuki's best thing she's made, in my opinion. She went to see one of them archery contests out recently, out on the edge of town. And she was complaining that the arrows took so long to fly to their targets. Anyone in their right mind would be able to dodge at that range. So she thought up something to make the arrows go quicker. Came up with this. Although, and Ryuki like nudges in. Although I can only fire once or twice before I need to fix it. The barrel's not sturdy enough with the current material set. The frame is sturdy enough to hold together, but the barrel cracks. And the crystal, while usable, is too unstable and ends up the reverberations from it. I'm cracking the entire thing. I'm trying and find another medium to generate the force required.
It sounds like Aqua just found a fun project to help with.
So.
Sounds like we're making magic guns and we're being arms dealers.
Okay, so considering the fact that my area of interest is armorer, would that not imply that I'm taking a lot of care to sort of research material science, you know, so that my new arm that I'm making...
You'd have a degree of material science, yes. They are specifically an artillerist, I believe, is the subclass. Is the one they spec into. That's why they have the
want to
firearm.
collaborate. I know material science. I know...
But yeah, you're taking one look at all this, and like especially the workshop. This kid is frankly a prodigy, all things considered.
Okay, I have one bit of advice for you. Do not get distracted near dwarven auto hammers and lava.
Oh, but
Okay.
what?
Just
I
listen.
think she just waves with the robotic hand.
I just sort of like, I don't have a beep boop hand yet. I just
Wait,
sort of like
what
get
is
down
your
on
arm?
one.
Just...
Not there.
God!
Oh wait, I thought you had a replacement.
No, that's my aim. I want to make a replacement, but I don't have the materials or
You need to
quite the
become a
knowledge.
material girl.
Well, I am a material girl. I've not got the
Really not good.
I've not got the know-how and to do the putting together of the materials because funnily
So
enough
you're a
it's a bit hard.
So you're a material girl, not a put together girl. Got it.
Yeah. Okay, have you met my character? Actually, that's a good point. I've not really characterized my character a lot. But this I like this. I feel very character right now. Hi.
Listen, no, you're having there's no judgment. You're having a good time.
Yeah, perhaps you and the
It's-
child
it's-
could figure out something.
Also, if I am going on a bit, I can just type stuff in the
You are fine.
okay.
Aqua saw this child is like, you are my friend now. We are having soft tacos later.
You are my friend now. We're building high explosives later.
We're losing limbs together.
So, what is there something that I would roll in order to see if I have any insights as to apart from like insight, but like
You are a higher
okay.
level artificer than them. You just frankly have more knowledge than them. By default. Artificers have autocraft as just a thing that is one of their traits that I run with.
I want to give them all of the advice.
Generally speaking, once you hit a certain level threshold, you can make certain things.
Right.
I love mean roads. They're here for the gun. Oh no.
God!
I must
heard
hide
about
the
the
arms,
magic
dear.
weapon.
Yeah, so you're taking like a look over this, and they give like the brief explanation of like the problems with it. Not for a second. Do you understand the basic concept? It's an issue you've run into with your armor as well. Magic crystals, well, crystals are a very good medium for storing magic, as they naturally store magic if you put magic into them. Of a certain affinity, depending on the type of crystal. And they can even be modified to naturally absorb magic from ley lines.
Mm-hmm.
Magic items naturally regenerating charges is based on that principle. They usually have a gemstone built inside of them that acts as a power source. The issue is getting that power back out in a stable manner. Right now they're using what appears to be a fire crystal, the most unstable of crystals. Trying to generate a small explosion in the barrel, as you'd expect for a gun.
What about an air aspected crystal for a pneumatic system, right? Would that have enough kick though?
I tried, the force is far less. Fire crystals are the only thing able to produce enough force in a small enough amount of time.
What if... Okay, how do the crystals... Okay, are you able to construct some sort of relay? This is just like lore-wise. Are you able to take one sort of crystal as the main collector crystal, and then have another crystal take that energy and store it within itself? One that's far less volatile?
If they're differing affinities, no, because they would just mismatch and both crystals would break.
Are there unaspected crystals?
They are extremely expensive, and they're used in like legendary magic items. Those are like artificial crystals, usually.
I see.
Those are exceedingly rare.
We are pooling the party's resources and buying this kid another aspected crystal so they can
what you're saying...
You can't afford one.
Can we use the existing artifact so that we can make a time gun? No. I'm
going to shoot you last Tuesday.
Literally shoot someone.
Today is Friday in California.
Oh no. I will see you Monday.
That's... Oh god, you just reminded me of my favorite bullshit effect you can pull off in Mutants and Masterminds. If you mix attack with time travel using a link effect, you could literally punch someone into last week.
Thank God, raw. I love it.
Mutants and Masterminds is great. Anyway.
Right, yes.
As you're looking this over, you're thinking for a second, a fire crystal is simply just unstable by very nature. You would have to make this out of, like, basically titanium if you wanted this thing to not just shake itself apart after a few uses. And even then, they would slowly warp over time from the amount of energy that would be pumped through it from just the explosions. You think for a second, from your experience, and you've done this before with falling back on material components rather than magic as a resource. Mainly in your armor, it's mainly about choosing which materials to mix where rather than using magic to directly reinforce sections, as that can get out of hand very quickly. It's often better to just simply redesign the area to be more stable, and then worry about magic reinforcement after that. Get it as best as you can without magic, and then add magic as an amplifier rather than the core foundation.
Yeah, you want a
thinking,
passive component.
Maybe there is some. You're thinking maybe there is some method through traditional materials to generate this explosion more stable.
I mean, if you
general materials are more stable than magic 9 times out of 10.
I mean, if you use a ceramic, like, you can do some pretty insane things with ceramic composites, but...
But this is medieval times. Do you
Oh,
have methods
right.
of producing ceramic composites? The answer is
Alchemy?
probably not. The answer is probably no.
Please mix carbon and sulfur. Please mix carbon and sulfur.
What does that do?
Gunpowder.
I will say that, I will say this now. Gunpowder, not known off the top of your head. That's not been invented yet. Do some research. If you stick around Undertale long enough, maybe you can have a pistol. That is an option I'm putting on the table.
Okay.
Oh, so what I'm hearing is we just stick around in Ernadell.
Flintlocks, yay.
Yeah, we just stick around Ernadell for a little while until we get the okay. And hopefully in that amount of time, gun.
What does a crystal's instability entail, essentially?
Basically, it's how much energy is wasted when it's used. Fire crystals have the worst of it, and most of it is expended into heat and shockwaves. Since the crystal is built into like the back of the chamber, those shockwaves and heat end up warping the back of the chamber and end up blowing the back of the gun open, basically.
Okay, idea. I cannot remember off the top of my head. Did I hold on to the sketches that I did of the Pride Up tiles at the very beginning, or did I give it? Was it in the book, or did I give it to Whistle? Or
you have the sketches of them.
Okay, great. Some of those were fire aspected.
Yep.
So naturally, they seemed pretty stable. They didn't seem to be giving off.
They weren't crystalline based, however. They were not crystal based. They were direct monoflow, which again is unheard of, and you have like very little understanding, if any, of how they even function. Like I said, to understand that, there is a level threshold required, is what I'm going to say.
I see. Was there anything in the construction of it, however, that seemed to be any sort of reinforcement or anything, or was it just straight on the slate?
It was obviously, it was etched into the slate itself, but the slate wasn't made of regular stone. It was obviously made of some special material, likely transmuted to be a specific density of certain materials. Although you didn't have time to do a chemical study of the rock before it got nuked. So...
What about... I mean, ideally, we want it to be passively safe, but... Sorry, question. Is there ice/water aspects to crystals?
There is one for the 4 major elements: fire, earth, air, and water. There is one for the transitionary elements, which are the steps in between, including the cross. So fire and water, their cross element is ice, for instance. Or steam, technically, as well, depending which way you take it. Yeah, all 4 elements connect to all 4 others to create the secondary elements. And there are tertiary elements, such as light and shadow, and the such. And then there is as an artificer, you understand all these because you have the greatest understanding alongside wizards of the actual fundamental building blocks. The final is conceptual elements, which include stuff like good, evil, law, chaos, and are mainly used by celestial beings.
There's nothing like fortification or anything like that.
Yeah, it would fall under Earth usually, as an Earth elemental ability, or a conceptual ability similar to that of, say, like Stone Skin is an Earth element spell. There's also Bark Skin, which would fall under Life, which is a conceptual element.
What about several crystals in a series propelling it forward?
The more crystals, the more instability.
Hmm.
More small crystals are less stable than one big crystal.
Right.
And
So
the
the
joint
main
structure
issue...
actually works to stabilize it a little bit. But
the main...
basically, a fire crystal, you could only use a fire crystal at the scale of like a cannon. Because at that point, you've got enough material to like reinforce, and the crystal is large enough to be stable enough to not blow it apart.
I assume
the smaller you make it, the more unstable it becomes.
Yeah. I assume that Earth is the stablest of the elements.
Yep, it is considered the unchanging element. Wind and fire are the most changing.
Right.
And water is an in-between. It is both static and moving.
So it's either materials, expensive materials that she might not have access to, or an active setup.
Make it big.
Or make gunpowder.
Yeah, but surely... Is there a way to lens it? I'm sorry, actually, I should probably like do this sometime after the session.
No, this is fine. I am perfectly fine with listening to you try to invent gunpowder.
Well,
I will say,
I don't know.
out of character, gunpowder will just take literally because of your level threshold, it will take a few days for you to figure out how to do this by pursuing what you're already aware of.
Okay.
It's one of those cases of you know some stuff, they know some stuff, and you have some books.
And you could probably work on it together over the time that we're here.
Yeah.
Yep. Because we're gonna be here for a few days anyways.
Can I ask for more information on the workings of crystals and other magical apparatus that does not involve crystals? At some point, if that's okay. Would that, or is that asking a lot?
I'd assume so.
I say again, sorry?
They would like a technical manual on crystals and shit.
And non-crystal things as well, like just magic stuff.
You're just gonna take that out of the local library, basically.
Yes, I will do that later.
The Ernadel library is open to all, as you learn if you ask about it. Ernadel is a city to the people, rather than a city to a lord or lady. It is possibly the most progressive city in all of Valor, by the way.
I like this place. We need to let
it
not
be
burnt down.
It is my favorite city, by the way.
Nothing bad will happen to it.
There is no war in Ba Sing Se. Anyway.
Not yet.
These NPCs will be perfectly fine.
Also, Aqua, I will...
It's like the two of you are like being like artificer nerds in the corner. Kura like obviously pouts up for his hands like, I'm meant to be her partner. Like frowning at you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait.
Poor guy.
Wait, I'm sorry. Hi. Hello. And I just sort of like scoot away from them a little bit and makes room for them. And I like just look extremely eagerly at them like a dog that's just been shown a stick.
Hey,
be friend with friend and friend.
Hey, Aqua.
Yes.
Just a reminder, by the way, as well. Just as a former artificer, in a different campaign, you have infusions that you can do, and make like a bunch of magical shit. Just FYI.
That is true.
You
I need to
just
look at
make
the
magic shit.
Yeah, you could just straight up make a bunch of magic shit. over
But, like,
time.
How does it work?
You have a limited. You basically have a limited number of things you can make, and you have a list of stuff you chose earlier on. If you haven't chosen, I think it's in the biography section of the character sheet, and you get more as you level
I've
up.
chosen 2 things.
I think you should have more, because I think you get more every time you level up. So, and then you can have a certain number of them active at any one time. So you have a list of ones you can choose from the big list. And from that list, you have a smaller number that you have out at any one time. And every time you make a new one, you have to swap out one of your old ones. If you go over your limit.
Right.
You just said at the end of every long rest.
Yeah,
This is
by
how.
now you,
by now you can have
know
plus 1
4
weapons.
infusions.
You could. Yeah, you should have 4.
Okay.
There's a big list. There is a big list at the end of the Artificer section. If D&D Beyond wasn't down.
I've got D&D 5e wiki doc.
Good.
Yeah, that works.
Use that instead. But yeah, there's something like you can just have a plus 1 weapon on your list. You could have a bag of holding if you took replicate magic item. There's repeating weapons, which bypass me for ammunition.
Hold on. Large fire crystal in a bag of holding.
What?
Nope.
Large fire crystal in a bag. No, it's like it needs to be on the scale of a cannon to work correctly, right? However, you could have a lot of focusing apparatus, etc., inside the bag of holding itself.
Are you
scale
going-
of a cannon to encase it to
We
protect?
put the cannon in the bag of holding.
Yeah, but you could have it.
That
Okay,
would be
so-
a bitch to aim.
Okay, but if you have all of the
We just,
focusing
like,
apparatus,
ease
etc.
the mouth of a cannon. It's fine.
At that
don't
point,
need
just
to
use a
have
portable hole.
Yeah, but at that
Yeah.
point, you don't. You could theoretically even have it switch between elements if you could.
I like
I've
this
had
plan.
ideas.
I like
As a
this
note,
plan a lot.
direct fire elements, which is what I think you're trying to get at, where you just put a crystal on the end of a stick and just fire an element, basically. They have very short range.
But what if you focus it? And you use it to drive a projectile? And what if the projectile is repeating?
Well done, you've made a gun. You still have a stability problem.
Yeah, but if you have all of the stability.
Rapid fire cannon.
This is something we can loop back to once we have a gun at the proper
Yes.
scale. Once we have a bag of holding, then we can put a cannon in.
You also need to invent a cannon first.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Can I teach them repeating shot in the meantime?
They have their own list of infusions locked in. You cannot teach them.
Okay, I see.
They have enhanced weapon, and they have another one I haven't determined, but it is not repeating weapon. I know that I specifically put that one off their list because a repeating flintlock is actually broken.
I mean, it's
That
on
is-
my list.
that
so-
is-
You will
that is-
lose your hand.
That is just a heavy crossbow with no drawbacks.
I mean, I do have a heavy
just less
crossbow with
range.
no drawbacks.
I mean, it's a short range heavy crossbow with no real drawback when it comes to being two-handed.
Yeah. Well,
That's what a
hey,
flip-flop pistol is. It's a D10 damage.
hey, I
damage.
get. Hold on, wait. Do you need 2 hands to use a crossbow? In which case, I've got some issues.
Heavy crossbow, yes. Light crossbow, maybe.
Uh-huh.
Hand crossbow, no.
Okay.
I think light crossbow is like weird. It might be two-handed. It might not be. I can't remember.
You can load it with one hand and like your thigh.
Yeah.
There are
I've
tools. Basically, it's a case of it's a two-handed weapon for you. In the case of like a crossbow, it is a case of you've developed tools to be able to do it one-handed, but it basically immobilizes you while you're doing it. So it's still basically a two-handed weapon for all intents and purposes.
I've
And drawbacks.
Yeah. Drawback. Since I'm loading it like with my thigh, which is partially canon now, I've evolved from becoming distracted lesbian to distracting lesbian. Anyway, sorry. Tangent over. Apologies.
You're fine.
Anyway. After much nerding out in the corner and trying not to cause Kuro to pout too much, eventually you're forced to head back to the orphanage as it's getting late in the day. And Kuro like ushers all of you out. Like, it's late enough. We're not gonna let a repeat of what happened last time happen. We're not going back in the middle of the night. We're going back before the sun is down. And they like force you all out and lock the warehouse back up. They hand the key back to Ryoki. And you slowly make your way back to the orphanage area. As they reach the front gate, Kuro turns to the rest of you. I'm not sure I can let you all in here. I don't know where exactly you're doing in the city. But we'll be probably back at the warehouse tomorrow if you want to meet up again. I'll leave you to whatever business you have. Nice to meet all of you. They give a smile. Ryoki like gives a wave as well. Thanks for rescuing me.
Whistle will give a little wave.
Problem with the one.
Okay, Whistle, after, you know...
Kuro gives like a last, like, a half glare at Heather, like a passing comment, as Ryoki, like, starts to drag them back into the gates. I'll let you know one last time, I'm her partner, not you. As they, like, half glare at you as Ryoki drags them back.
I'm her big sister. Fuck off.
Turns to everyone, puts her little hands together, looking up, and just...
She doing that by flying?
What? No, she's looking up because she's short.
Well, how is she putting her hands together?
Just moving her hands?
She has...
her hands
That's how hands work.
She does have hands. I don't. She does.
You are flightless birds, you dingus. They can't fly.
Does catapult work on?
Let's not catapult our comrades.
Okay. Whistle looks over and goes, getting late. Fine place to stay.
TK, I don't know. Does I don't know if this is a thing, but do people in the guild get like a lodging at all? Like a inn that's because
no,
they're part of
they
it.
might get discounts, but they still have to pay.
Got it.
That would depend if the tavern keeper gives discounts to people who are adventurers, and that's a case by case. However, as Allison brings up right now, as they've just been kind of like following the party, like eyes glazed over at just the chaos that's happening, is when they're like, we should probably go to the capital and introduce ourselves.
Yeah, probably.
We'll certainly get lodging with them.
Has the princess dyed her fucking hair yet, so that we don't have to keep constantly putting a map on her?
She is wearing a hood. That is the best you've got out of her. She refuses to touch her hair. And those of you who have tried to dye her hair have gotten nearly stabbed by a rapier.
Squid. You realize that like this is a really big deal. I'm
Well, I don't plan to hide my identity this time. We're just gonna walk up to the front door and introduce ourselves. We want them on our side, after all. Deception is not the course of action for that.
Good idea.
Fair enough, but when we go to get your dad, fucking.
Can help with hood make it better. Me think.
Also, smile. I have added more NPCs to the known location list.
Nice.
Time to go to the capital.
And yes, Kuro is actually significantly stronger. They are actually an adventurer.
Considering that they fucking knocked me on my ass, I'd expect that.
That doesn't take much.
They are a CR3 archer.
Angry bird face.
Angry bird.
Okay.
Fuck's sake.
Anyway,
Hold on, Aqua. I heard that.
no, you didn't.
We got about 30 minutes to an hour left, so we're gonna try and
Right.
get through the rest of this before we end off, because I want to finish introducing Ernadel before next time. So, Allison leading the party begrudgingly to the capital, which is only a short distance. After all, the orphanage is attached to the main capital building. It's just a different entrance to get into the manor proper. As you make your way to the front gate, Allison steps forward and presents the royal insignia. Immediately, the guards like blink hard for a second, and then one of them turns and makes their way quickly into the capital. Is at this point I ask you, are you going to bring which, if any, one of your secondary companions do you wish to bring along? You can only bring one.
Alright,
any.
let's look at the list here. Because this is mainly like politics stuff, right? So we're gonna want like the politics people. Because, you know,
my
gestures
vote's
wild.
on Red Hand or Alicia.
Yeah.
I will note for Red Hand specifically, since he is a lord, that might actually play against you, because it will show allegiances, and if there is, and basically that'll put them off of you, if anything.
Okay, then
As it shows that
Nora.
Yeah, Enora would be a good bet since she is a bard,
Since she
and we can both bard.
travels most places, from what I remember hearing, she gets around many places. Which
he has
means
been
she-
to most of the nations except the Union.
Yep, which means she's in the know of most things and also can provide similar insights without being aligned anywhere. Same with Sir
Alright.
Geralt being aligned and Alicia being aligned, though I don't think her name is as known.
So Geralt might give you,
Sopranos.
basically I'll go through the list of the benefits they give you.
Mhm.
Red Hand is just a bad option, and Red Hand would call Sir himself. As a lord, what they give you is nothing that Alicent doesn't already give you, and their presence would actually detract, as it would be seen as too much of a show of power. And would probably put them off of you, if anything, and make negotiations more difficult. Ainora is a neutral party, and might well be good at gathering information, but cannot directly participate in diplomacy. Alicia would be good at subterfuge and gathering information behind people's backs, but again, you're trying to make an ally, not an enemy. Sir Geralt is good at basically handling knights and dames, but again, in the actual politics, is not very useful. And Sophronis is just an outsider completely.
Well, if we can only bring one.
Alicent is the main diplomat here. That's the reason why they're locked in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the rest of you, as her personal escort, are also allowed into diplomacy.
Mm-hmm. Girl would be good with knights and stuff.
There are
'cause
two
we
in the
don't have
city.
very- Oh, that is.
You're about to meet them, after all.
Well, yeah, then Geralt probably would be our best bet.
So you are taking Sir Geralt with you?
Yeah, and.
Alright, I will move Sir Geralt to the core party for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck yeah, he's got plot armor now.
It wouldn't. No, he does not.
For the meantime.
I'm not actually going to move them from thing to thing because that's a pain in the backside, but they are with the party.
I mean, think of it this way: if anything like happens on our way back and stuff, we have another hand to help. Who is able
At this
to
point,
help.
since you brought Sir Geralt with you, they can give you an information as you're waiting at the front gate. If I'm right in my suspicion, they're going to be fetching the two dames that work here. That would be Dame Rico and Dame Emiko.
Yeah, Meek.
I'm going to quickly pull up their images real quick.
Who they?
Back. there. That one. That one. There's Rico, there's Emiko. Last I met them, they were engaged, but by now they probably married, the two of them.
Ooh.
Rico is a spellcaster by trade, and Emiko is a swordswoman. The two of them were knighted, were actually part of the, as a gesture of to the orphanage. As far as I'm aware, they were both part of the orphanage program here. And they dedicated their lives to giving back to the Colbert family who had set it up. They were one of the first pair to actually be brought in by the orphanage, amongst on the first wave.
Oh.
From my understanding, their loyalty to the Colbert family and Ernadel as a whole is unbreakable. They hold more loyalty to the city than to the rest of Valar itself. My suspicion. They're also very protective of the lady, from what I understand. As well as each other, if that doesn't go without saying.
Yeah. They kind of, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Goes without saying.
I'm on relatively good terms with them, so it should at least make negotiations with them go smoothly. We'll see though, it has been a while. At this point, you see the guard who would run off towards the manor is coming back, and sure enough, alongside them are the pair of Danes. As they approach, you see Emiko is currently walking up front. Rico just stood just behind and to their side. And as they approach, yeah, you'd hear Emiko speak up. Well, 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 if it isn't the princess and the oddball of the knights. Welcome to Ernadel. You're most welcome here, princess. Miss Colbert wants to see you soon, but she's currently tied up in meetings. She'll have time in the morning to see you. Let's get you to the guest hall immediately. Riker behind them gives like a quick bow to the princess. And then they all of them like take an inspection of you. And I take it you're the princess's bodyguards or escorts or advisors, whichever it is, it doesn't matter. The princess gives a nod. All of the above, actually. Very well. If all of you would care to follow me, please keep your hands off of anything that isn't. Please keep your hands off of all of the decorations within. Please don't break anything and don't cause any fuss. It is currently late in the evening. We have many meetings to attend to. Follow us, please. As they turn and begin making their way back towards the manor, the gate swinging open in front of you. You see the two of them exchanging words, but whispered, and you cannot hear it. And you were led into the manor. And quickly led into one of the side wings, straight to the guest ward. no like chance for exploration, unfortunately. And sure enough, as you're being led through, you can see the place is very busy right now. You can see a lot of like lesser lords and ladies currently bustling around. See people coming in and out of side chambers. You can see a lot of people. It seems like some kind of important event is happening. And doing a general listen in, it appears that they are all discussing some kind of recent event, and has caused a lot of people to be called back in. Everyone has like a distinct sense of like purpose in what's happening right now. Perhaps you'll find out what this is later. But obviously it takes precedent over even the princess arriving. As you are led to the guest ward, the two dames turn to you. You'll be staying in these quarters here. You'll find them sizable enough to accommodate all of you. If you require anything, send a messenger to either myself or Miss Riker here.
I
Both of them
should.
give a quick bow to the princess again.
We should likely provide them with the descriptions of our previous assailants. You know, in case they decide to show up.
Which ones?
The girl with the big old exploding bracelet.
Flying guy.
And
Don't they come here?
yeah, well,
Sir Geralt
maybe
turns-
doubtful.
Sir Geralt turns to the two of them. If Sir Vincent is to arrive in the city, please let me know immediately. Sir Vincent has made a move to try and endanger the princess's life. We'll have more to discuss on that matter at a later date. The two Danes, like, eyes widen for them and give a sharp nod. Understood. We'll keep an eye out for Sir Vincent if they do arrive. Right. Best of day to the two of you. I'll be taking my leave, and Sir Geralt steps into the quarters. What are the rest of you doing?
Whistle is literally having a hernia trying to prevent herself from going off and stealing. She has eyed everything on the way to the guest hall, and she knows any path that she could take, and she is trying so hard. You can see it in her eyes. Her focus is just beating on
Don't get a skill.
wall.
Don't get a skill.
She
Don't get a
has-
skill.
She has so much conviction to not, despite the fact of she's just so it would be so easy just be taking a candy from a baby, but she has other people to worry about instead of herself. She can't just take and run. So she sits, staring at the wall, eyes fucking like dilated like a drug addict, going through withdrawals.
Damn. We really need to take.
Whistle, would you like to see the forbidden artwork again?
Whistle. Hold on. TK.
Yeah.
Quick question. Do you think do Kenku have heads like owls?
They can.
If they do, then that would imply that
I don't
their
think
eyes
you-
can't move.
I don't think
Because-
you do. I don't think you're that type of Kenku.
I'm not.
You'd have the
But
same
it
turning
would
capacity of
almost
the
seem
bird
like
you're based on.
As Whistle turns her head to face. Find restraint.
Oh, okay. Whistle, are you seriously asking us to tie you up?
Whistle just looks at you dead in the eyes. Not a word spoken. Just a stare. Without a response.
Alright,
Horrifying. I don't like
somebody get a rope.
She pulls out of her bag a bit of rope. Throws it on the ground in front of her.
I'm assuming you've gone into the room at this point.
Yes. Yes. Whistle had gone in, plumped herself down, and started staring at the wall.
She's staring at the point where the corner fucking meat's just like fucking wigging out. And this is hilarious. I love this.
So who is tying Whistle up, if any?
No thanks, I'm monogamous.
Well,
Fuck's
we'll
sake.
figure that out for next time, because as the party settles down for the night and begins to contemplate their next actions upon everything they've learned, that will be the end of tonight's session.
Yippee!
What an ending.
New faces, a new city, and politics.
And
Wait.
Yeah.
gunpowder. Gun.
Also a gun and
Oh,
also
no.
Robin Hood.
Okay,
Gun
hear
time.
me out. What
Gun
if
time.
Robin Hood with a gun?
Yeah, gun time.
It is a less range than a longbow,
time.
so they would probably decline.
Give glow.
Oh my god. I just imagine
Give wound.
Whistle with a fucking Mossberg just like racking.
So, TK,
Yeah.
I want you, if you have the time, to very quickly look in the media section of the Magic Bureau Discord. This is what my chat has been talking about for the past hour.
Magic Bureau.
I will elaborate once TK sees it.
What?
It is
Second
Kevin.
delay.
I will actually just post the picture.
Kevin RP, bottom text.
I'm gonna post the picture in off topic.
Yeah, I am currently attempting
Ah.
to find. Magic. I have so many servers.
It's in this one, in off topic.
Okay.
One of the pictures. You're probably not in the Magic Beer one.
I'm pretty sure I am. I just gotta remember what I
You are
Is
not.
there any context to this, or is it just... Huh?
No, it's just this. Sarah,
No,
Sarah, you are not
there's-
in it. I just tried searching up your name.
Yes, I am.
I am not pop up when I search up your name.
Well, let me just type in general for you.
Do you have like a different name in here? Wow, Discord's giving me trouble.
Anyway,
Are you howling at the moon and sleeping in the middle
with
of the
that,
summer
I am
afternoon?
also going to wrap up my stream and go into
Yeah.
a post discussion real quick off stream. So
Yippee.